It's Monday, November 10th. Today, left to wait and wait. A Manitoba woman speaks out about her life-threatening ordeal at a Winnipeg hospital. Honoring the service and sacrifice, the weekend commemoration of Indigenous soldiers. And getting ready for the Grey Cup, the grand entrance of the trophy as Winnipeg prepares for this weekend's game. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, Manitoba. It is Monday, November 10th. I'm here, Catherine Dow, for Rochelle Legacy in the chair today. Joining me, Terry Gale, as always. We've got a fantastic show, including Living Prairie Museum. Daniel Holmerson has made his way down there, learning about all the ways nature and our little critters are preparing for winter and hibernation, plus all the fun they have going on. Plus, not to brag, we have the Grey Cup coming to studio, Terry Gale. And, you know, getting all excited for the big weekend ahead. But, Terry, how was your weekend? I got to say, the weather was a little bit all over the place, if you will.
Yeah, that's why I was holding up inside. Actually, I did try to get out for a walk, and I mean, I was bundled up with all of my layers, and I was thinking, this is too cold for this time of year. The winds, they were nasty, right? Well, you're going to notice those winds again today, and perhaps a light dusting of snow. Yeah, that's why the street's looking so white out there this morning. It's really just like the slimmest skiff of snow that we're seeing, but still, that's what we're waking up to this morning with some heavier clouds expected. -6 is where that temperature sits, which is technically still above seasonal. -8 would be a normal low for this time of year. Now, it feels like -12, and that's because of those winds. Out of the south-southwest, they're gusting to 27 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 98%. Now, there was still some light snow falling when I was coming into work this morning, but that isn't likely to last through the day. It'll taper off, and then just kind of mainly cloudy conditions. And you can see those clouds across the entire province with a little bit of that snow tracking through parts of central Manitoba or just a little bit to the north. All across Manitoba today, though, it is going to be pretty cloudy and breezy. These winds at times could be gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. And then into parts of northern Manitoba, there will be some activity with the flurries, maybe some mixed precipitation. But that's mostly for northern Manitoba. Again, just on the cloudier side here in the south. And just for today, that will be likely clearing out for tomorrow. Things will start to look a little bit brighter, sunnier conditions through the rest of the week, and warmer temperatures are also expected, although those winds will still likely be strong for tomorrow at least. But we're back up into those mid-single digits and possibly even getting into some double digits as we're looking ahead to the end of the week. That will be followed by some rain possibly Saturday as those temperatures start to drop off again.
Thank you, Terry. A Manitoba woman is speaking out about her experience at a Winnipeg hospital, sharing what she calls a life-threatening ordeal and an excruciating wait in the ER. CTV's Alex Karpa has her story.
Harriet Burkle was hospitalized for over a month at the beginning of 2024.
It happened so fast.
On the morning of December 31st, 2023, Burkle was taken to Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre by ambulance after not feeling well. She was triaged and put on a gurney, but proceeded to wait and wait and wait, getting no help for hours.
For 8 hours, I lay on that gurney, and no one checked my vitals. I'm starting to get worried. I'm feeling worse and worse.
Burkle knew she had to take matters into her own hands. She left the hospital, went home, called a second ambulance, returned to the hospital, and found out she had sepsis and only had 2 hours to live.
If I wouldn't have left the hospital, I would have been dead, because after 8 hours, no one had checked my vitals.
Manitoba's Shared Health said HSC is actively working to improve patient flow and reduce wait times. Last week, a triage nurse who CTV News agreed not to identify over fears of repercussions said they are surprised more people haven't died while waiting in emergency and admits the situation will worsen if nothing is done to change it.
This has been a chronic issue that's been compounding over time.
Nick Casper, who himself is a firefighter, says hospital delays are also taking a toll on frontline staff.
Our members are sitting with stable, low acuity healthcare patients for hours at a time. And when I say hours, I mean, you know, half a day.
It's surreal.
As for Burkle, she says her story should send a warning to others.
You really strongly have to advocate for yourself.
And her advocating for herself in a time of distress was a decision that saved her life. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
The Manitoba Métis Federation commemorated the lives of Indigenous soldiers during its annual Indigenous Veterans Day ceremony over the weekend. The ceremony on Saturday took place at a Royal Canadian Legion branch in Lac du Bonnet, about an hour northeast of Winnipeg. This year marks the fourth time the day has been celebrated, but it's the first to come after the Legislative Assembly passed the bill to officially recognize November 8th as Indigenous Veterans Day. Vice President of the MMF, Andrew Carrier, said the day does not draw attention away from Remembrance Day on November 11th.
Instead, it allows us to acknowledge the experiences, achievements, sacrifices, and hardships that are unique to Indigenous veterans. Understanding that our veterans and their families face many hardships, and the soberness of the sacrifice our people have always found healing through community, song, dance, and food.
The ceremony also premiered a short documentary of the Second World War veteran, Sergeant Lawrence Liberté, to honor his legacy. Southern Ontario got its first taste of wintry weather, leaving some people scrambling to get their winter tires put on and others just enjoying the moment.
I'm wearing about 3 layers, top and bottom, so I just feel pretty invincible. So just stay out here as long as I can.
It's time. It's time. We need some snow. It's Canada. We need snow.
Some areas saw upwards of 10 centimeters of snow. Orillia, about 2 hours north of Toronto, saw the largest amount. Drivers were warned of slippery conditions, and in the Greater Toronto area, more than 100 collisions were reported yesterday. Many cities also opened warming centers and shelters as the temperature dropped. Just days after the Philippines were battered by Typhoon Kalmay-G, Super Typhoon Feng-Wang made landfall there on the weekend, with a radius spanning nearly the entire country. The Philippines National Weather Service says at least 2 people have been killed and more than 1 million were forced to evacuate in the face of approaching heavy winds and rain. Schools and government offices will be closed tomorrow across the main island of Luzon, and nearly 300 flights have been canceled. The Philippines is still recovering after 220 people were killed by Typhoon Kalmay-G. The city of Winnipeg launched a podcast last year, and if you didn't know that, you're not alone. The Canadian Taxpayers Federation says almost no one is listening.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Now, we keep joking that we have 2 economists today for the price of 1.
It's called Our City, Our Podcast. On each episode, 2 hosts interview a city employee about the work they do. It launched in April of 2024 at just under $35,000. According to documents obtained by the Taxpayers Federation, the city estimates the podcast has 81 subscribers. And as of Friday, the podcast has about 7,500 listens. The most popular episode on YouTube right now is about Winnipeg Transit with 152 views. The Taxpayers Federation calls it a failure on all counts.
We're calling on the city to cancel this podcast in ways to look to save government spending. When the city hiked property taxes by that 34-year high last year, was talking about upcoming cost pressures, other things the city has to spend on. But when things like this are still being approved and money is being spent on them, it shows that the city didn't look very far to actually go and find those savings for taxpayers.
In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the city says the podcast is a valuable way to engage and share important information with residents. And it feels it gives the city a platform to highlight the work being done by city employees. The Grey Cup made its grand entry to Winnipeg in style, under airmen's protection. 2 airmen of the Royal Canadian Air Force rappelled down to the CN stage at the Forks with the cup inside a rucksack. A CH-146 helicopter from the 408th Tactical Helicopter Squadron from Edmonton escorted the cup, and it was a new experience for the CFL.
Watching that Canadian Armed Forces helicopter hover over the ground here at the Forks and the Grey Cup rappelling down was something incredibly special. I've never seen anything like that before. I couldn't imagine a better way to kick off Grey Cup week. Let's have a great game on Sunday. Looking forward to it. Stay safe, but enjoy yourselves.
The 112th Grey Cup is to be held on this coming Sunday in Winnipeg, with the Saskatchewan Roughriders taking on the Montreal Alouettes. This will be the 5th time that Winnipeg hosted the Cup. The last time was in 2015. Taking a look at the current traffic situation around Osborne Street, predictably quite quiet, a little bit of snow out there on the road, so take a little bit of extra care. Otherwise, if you have any traffic tips or updates to share, you can text them to us at 10400. Saying happy Monday and a very good morning to CTV's Daniel Halmerson in for Ainsley McPhail. You are spending the morning at the Living Prairie Museum, Daniel.
Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, Manitoba. The Living Prairie Museum, it's a little hidden gem, actually right along Ness Avenue near Sturgeon Heights Collegiate. Now, the 13 hectares here, it's one of the last remaining tallgrass prairie ecosystems in North America. And this morning we're going to learn about the different plants, wildflower, and wildlife species that call the Living Prairie Museum grounds home. We're going to learn a little bit about the biodiversity here and how this museum is a key biodiversity has designation. We're also going to check out some of the activities that happen here in the Interpretive Center on Saturdays, drop-in programs talking about bison and beavers. So really exciting morning ahead, Catherine. Looking forward to sharing more.
It looks to be a good time. All right, thanks for that, Daniel. Checking up with Terry on the rooftop. We've got the umbrella out, Terry. What's going on up there?
So I realize it's weird to use an umbrella when it's snowing, but I didn't want my hair to get wet, and
Terry,
I left my toque downstairs. So anyway, an umbrella it is, because there is still some precipitation coming down right now. It's going to certainly reduce your visibility. I'm noticing the lack of buildings that are only a block away. Not that they're not there. I just can't see them through a little bit of this light snow. And then, of course, the little dusting that is piling up on the streets below. Oh, I'm stuck on my umbrella. -6, that's where we're sitting right now. It's going to be a little bit breezy today right now. Those winds out of the south-southwest are 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 97%. You will want to bundle up today. These temperatures, even though they're technically above seasonal to start out, -8 would be a normal low. We're only likely to get to the freezing mark, which is normal for this time of year, but that will come with a strong wind, at times gusting to 60 kilometers per hour, and a lack of sunshine with some heavier clouds and, for now at least, a little light snow. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful, helping your home get holiday ready with blinds from Hunter Douglas.
Welcome back. A new tradition was born in Winnipeg this weekend to honor Indigenous veterans. The Indigenous Veterans of Manitoba hosted the first annual Indigenous Veterans Day Pow-Wow at Sergeant Tommy Prince Place in William White. Grand entry included the Eagle staff, Canadian and provincial flags, and members of the armed forces. Drummers played the honor song and flag song to pay tribute to fallen soldiers, a message that Gunner Ken Saunders echoed.
To honor the veterans at a powwow, it's a celebration for what they did. And it gives them the honor and the respect that we want to give our warriors. You know, we're not just celebrating and then remembering the past, we're only going to remember the future, and we're going to try to remember the future that's coming, the future veterans that are coming.
The event also unveiled a new flag for the organization featuring sweetgrass around a poppy. Captain Angela Brass, co-chair of the organization, says the event is a way to connect with fallen ancestors. Brass added that the event is a heart medicine for people recognizing Indigenous veterans and their fallen relatives. Canada's ailing healthcare system was front and center Sunday at a massive demonstration in Quebec. Thousands of doctors denouncing a new law in that province that changes their compensation structure. It's aimed at overhauling the medical system. But as CTV's Jean-Pierre Beauchemin reports, doctors fear it will inflict widespread damage.
Thousands of Quebec doctors packed what's normally the home of the Montreal Canadiens. They're facing off against the government over Bill 2, the province's law overhauling physicians' pay and work structures. an all-doctor band providing the soundtrack to a rally that brought generations together. Medical students, residents, family physicians and specialists united to denounce the law they call authoritarian dangerous. Internal medicine specialist Dr. Daniel Cobb followed his father's footsteps into medicine.
We want the system to work. We want it to work. But the way they're going about it is only going to de-incentivize doctors from actually stepping up and making it work.
Quebec invoked closure in late October to pass the law, its remedy to Canada's most overcrowded ERs and long surgery wait lists. The law ties a percentage of a doctor's salary to performance targets and pays family doctors a fixed sum per patient visit. Doctors here say it will simply drive away those practicing in Quebec.
C'est pas une loi pour construire, c'est une loi pour brimer.
Dr. Lionel Ange Pongui resigned as head of obstetrics and gynecology at a hospital in the Outaouais region. He's now considering practicing next door in Ottawa.
So Law 2 was billed as something that will help access. In fact, Law 2 is breaking our system. It's breaking our doctors.
250 doctors have actually applied for an Ontario license over the last 2 weeks. Compare that to just 19 applications from June to October 22nd. 70 applied to New Brunswick.
So if doctors leave the province, they're going to be even shorter than they were before. Wait length times are going to increase.
And those at the rally say it's time Quebec starts treating patients and doctors with a dose of respect. And the doctors vow to continue to fight a law they say simply hurts an already ailing healthcare system. Geneviève Beauchemin, CTV News, Montreal.
The federal Liberals still have another confidence vote to get through in order for their budget to pass and to avoid an election.
We believe that people who may have voted Conservative or think of voting Conservative, these are concepts that they can support, that they can get behind. It's a budget that's firmly planted in the middle of Canadian politics.
Government House Leader Stephen McKinnon says the opposition parties should support the document. The Liberals are 2 seats shy of a majority government. They've already survived 2 confidence votes in the House related to the budget. The 3rd vote will happen next Monday. If the budget fails to pass, Canadians could be headed into another election. The Conservatives and Bloc have already said they won't support the budget. The 2 parties have each laid out a series of conditions for their votes. The NDP, meanwhile, says it is still deciding. And today, Prime Minister Carney will be speaking on the federal government's new Buy Canadian policy. He will be in Fredericton later this morning to meet with New Brunswick Premier Susan Holt. King Charles led a ceremony Sunday in London to remember those who have died during times of war. The crowd fell silent for 2 minutes as Parliament's Big Ben tolled at 11 a.m. The National Ceremony of Remembrance is held every year on the nearest Sunday to the anniversary of the end of the First World War on November 11th. Similar memorial services are held in dozens of towns, cities, and military bases across Britain. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes are closed on Dugald Road from Plessis to Bates. Construction is expected to wrap up there later this week. 1 lane will be open in each direction on St. Anne's between Inman and St. Mary's. If you have any traffic tips or updates to share, you can always text them to us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
A look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And yeah, a little bit of snow actually stuck around this morning. So it's been falling since last night, and now we're waking up to some snowy streets. Keep that in mind for your commute, but also the reduced visibility due to that snow that's still falling right now. Temperature-wise, we are still technically above seasonal, with -8 being a normal low, and here in Winnipeg, we're sitting at -6. Seeing some similar temperatures here through the southeast, a little bit cooler over in Brandon at -10, but considerably milder over in Dauphin, just north of that. -2 for you to begin the day. Moving up into parts of northern Manitoba, it's -3 right now in the Pas. Milder here along this western border. Then over in the east, it's a little bit cooler, with those minus double digits being felt up in Churchill right now. Heavier clouds pretty much across the entire province right now and continuing to build. You can see along the eastern border it's nowhere near as cloudy, but with these clouds moving in, you'll probably see things starting to kind of cloud over for you as well, and even a little bit of that precipitation that's been showing up as well. So that possibility that we still could see some flurries, certainly through the morning hours. -4 up to -2 by lunchtime and -1 by the time kids are headed home from school today. 0 degrees our expected high, which we might reach just after kids are getting settled home. But that's actually normal for this time of year. After today, we've got well above seasonal temperatures with some sunshine through the rest of this week until Friday, milder but cloudier. And with those clouds moving into the weekend, we could see a little bit of precipitation. Now, don't try this here in Winnipeg. I did see some ice on the Assiniboine, but nothing like in Cross Lake where kids are already out ice skating. Thanks for the photo to Gordon, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at CTV.ca. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
More than 5,000 flights were delayed or canceled Saturday in the U.S., and the same was expected Sunday, largely due to the government shutdown. ABC's Faith Abube has more on the air travel chaos.
This morning, a coast-to-coast air travel meltdown worsening as the FAA struggles to staff critical air traffic control facilities amid a historic government shutdown.
It's tough right now to travel.
ATC and TSA staffing issues causing long lines and increasingly raising concern about safety in the skies. Airlines forced to cancel nearly 1,500 flights and delay more than 5,000 flights Saturday alone, leaving passengers scrambling across the country.
They said they could get us to Atlanta, and then that fell through. In the meantime, I had booked a hotel in Atlanta to stay. It's not been a good day.
Staffing-related ground stops also issued at airports in Tennessee, Texas, New York, and North Carolina. Flights to San Francisco and JFK held for at least 2 hours, while passengers flying to Newark were stuck waiting at their departure airports for up to 4 hours. Flights to Atlanta delayed up to 5.5 hours. Travelers growing weary.
I ended up getting rerouted on my way to Brazil, so I flew from Dallas all the way up to Chicago with a 17-hour layover.
This weekend, airlines were operating 4% fewer flights at 40 major U.S. airports after the FAA issued a mandate Friday. The U.S. Transportation Secretary warning that the travel turmoil could get dire. Flight reductions could ramp up to 10% over the next several days if the government shutdown continues. Delta slashing 170 flights daily. United under 200, and American cutting around 220 flights per day. Our Melissa Adan in Los Angeles.
The drastic flight cuts were made to relieve pressure on the system as more TSA agents and air traffic controllers are calling out sick and working without pay due to the shutdown.
And as the stalemate in Washington shows no end in sight, passengers increasingly frustrated.
I'm angry that the governments, the president and the Congress and the Senate can't get together and just settle this thing and stop affecting regular people.
And if there is a silver lining, it's that some of these airlines are allowing passengers to cancel their tickets without penalty, meaning if your travel plans are flexible, you can postpone your trip. But not a lot of people have this luxury, and anxiety is going up. Faith Abube, ABC News, Atlanta, Georgia.
Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
All right, a little bit of light flurry activity is falling right now. It is very light, but still, it's reducing the visibility out there and starting to stick to the streets as well. It's -6 at the moment, but it feels like -13 with winds out of the south-southwest, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 97%. Yes, that light snow, you're going to see it out there this morning. Stepping outside, you're like, whoa, it snowed. Yeah, and it's actually still snowing. Heavier clouds across most of the province right now. Slightly clearer right along this eastern border, but that'll likely change. You too will see those clouds building up. And more than clouds, there's even that little bit of light snow that's passing through as well. So we'll probably see that snow kind of tapering off, but certainly it's falling this morning. 0 degrees is where we're headed for a high temperature today. And that is in fact normal for this time of year. And in fact, our morning temperatures that we have starting out -6 is slightly above seasonal. Normal lows would be -8. So -6 this morning. This coming night will be even milder, only dropping just below the freezing mark to about -1. And those winds into the overnight hours will be shifting out of the northwest and tapering off considerably, although they will be increasing again throughout the day tomorrow. Still out of the north tomorrow, at times gusting to 50 clicks, but we should see a little more sunshine and certainly some warmer temperatures up to 6 degrees. That'll be well above seasonal, but it continues to heat up throughout the rest of this week. We could in fact be hitting double digits by the end of the week on Friday. And then following that, some possible precipitation Saturday as we continue to watch those temperatures slide.
Thank you, Terry. Winnipeg's police chief says it's a dark day for the service after a police officer pleaded guilty to a long list of charges. On Friday, in front of a Court of King's Bench judge, Elston Bostick pleaded guilty to breach of trust, attempt to obstruct justice, obstructing a police officer, disseminating confidential information, and indignity to human remains. A statement from the Crown to CTV News says it'll be seeking a 6-year penitentiary sentence. CTV News reached out to the lawyer representing Bostick. They declined to comment. Meanwhile, in a statement posted on social media, Police Chief Gene Bauer says information entered into the court record is deeply concerning. He says, quote, "I want to begin by acknowledging the profound harm and pain this has caused, especially to the family and friends of a deceased woman who deserved more respect and compassion than she was afforded." Bauer says he personally apologized to the woman's family for the, quote, "horrific treatment of their loved one." The chief also says, quote, "The majority of our members work hard to keep our community safe with integrity, respect, and dignity. It is our responsibility to confront misconduct and act decisively, and that is exactly what my police service did." Bauer says Bostick remains suspended without pay. Can you recognize the signs of sexual exploitation and human trafficking? A new awareness campaign wants to educate the public, and you'll be seeing it at big events all around the city. Friday marked the launch of the Can You See Us? Exploitation is Not a Game campaign. Its message, large-scale sporting and entertainment events see an increased risk for sexual exploitation and human trafficking. The campaign educates the public on how to spot the signs and calls on everyone to take responsibility for safety, respect, and healing.
It's a $1 billion industry that is rooted from trauma and pain of, the power over people's bodies. So it's important for people when there's big events happening, there's other movements happening more than what's on the stage, more than what sport may be played. It's 24/7.
Besides events, you'll see the campaign artwork at Winnipeg transit stops, city facilities, and other places around the city. A young Canadian woman is sharing a frustrating ordeal after being denied entry into the U.S. She was on her way to visit her grandparents in Florida when border agents at Toronto's Pearson Airport refused to let that happen. CTV's Adrian Gobriel explains.
A controversial decision at U.S. Customs has left one 20-year-old stranded and her family fuming.
It felt like a bit of an abuse of power.
On Monday, her bag packed, 20-year-old Julia, whose family asked we not share her last name, arrived at Toronto's Pearson Airport U.S. Customs pre-clearance counter. Valid Canadian passport in hand, she waited an hour and a half in line before meeting a customs officer who began to ask her questions.
They thought it was suspicious, I guess, and decided to flag me and bring me to a different room.
Julia had a round-trip ticket booked with Porter Airlines to visit her grandparents in Orlando, Florida, just as she had done in February.
I was starting to hyperventilate a bit, and then they tell me that I'm denied entrance to America. They thought that I was illegally immigrating to the United States.
Julia, do you have any intentions of immigrating to the United States?
No, I did not.
U.S. immigration takes their orders from the top. And when there's a more anti-immigrant sentiment in the country, they have all the tools to use their discretion in a negative manner.
This Homeland Security checklist, completed by a U.S. Customs officer, claims that Julia didn't provide proof of a return ticket home.
I told them that I had a return ticket, and I told them the return date.
Customs also requested proof of employment and schooling in Canada, but the 20-year-old is currently unemployed and on a break from school until the spring.
The story is a true story and makes sense for that cohort, but U.S. immigration is suspicious, and they get full discretion to decide how they're going to respond.
Kate, why is it important for you to share your daughter's story with Canadians?
I hope that other people aren't going to face this. If our story helps any family avoid this, I mean, I think, a lot of people are boycotting travel to the U.S., and I'm all for it.
Immigration lawyers we spoke with say Canadians are now being asked more frequently to provide additional proof of their travel plans when arriving at U.S. Customs.
Vibe coding was just named Collins Dictionary's Word of the Year. The term refers to an emerging software that turns natural language into computer code using AI. Collins says it's programming by vibes, not variables. The Word of the Year is picked from a list of words that have emerged in the last year to most reflect the changing world around us. Taking a look at the current traffic situation, starting to pick up a little bit along Portage Avenue at Polo Park. Got a little bit of snow last night, so take a little extra care there. Meanwhile, if you have any traffic tips or updates to share, be sure to text to us at 10400. And taking a look at your gas prices, the Canadian average stands at $1.35. The provincial average is slightly lower at $1.31. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.31, and the lowest price in the city is $1.14. All this information is on gasbuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Daniel Halmerson is spending the morning at the Living Prairie Museum, learning all about the wonderful species that call Manitoba home. Details are just ahead at 6:42.
Weather is brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
Well, it's foggy out here this morning, and there's a few flakes of snow that are still falling lightly. It's more the fog that's reducing the visibility. It's not like you're seeing this flurry of flakes that are going to be flying, but certainly keep in mind that there is a light dusting of snow on the streets now that might affect your driving or the traction, on the streets today. And of course, the visibility is reduced as well. -6 is where that temperature is sitting right now, which is still technically above seasonal. -8 would be a normal low this time of year. And south-southwest winds, you're going to notice them increasing right now. They're 26 kilometers per hour, making it feel like -13. That pressure is falling. The humidity is sitting at 97%. So yes, a bit of reduced visibility this morning, reduced traction, winter driving conditions apply now. And we will feel a little bit wintry today with these temperatures only getting to the freezing mark, although that is normal for this time of year, 0 degrees, a seasonal daytime high. After today, things will be warming up considerably so. By the end of the week, we could even be hitting double digits, but it will be a slow warm up and we'll still deal with those strong winds. Daniel Halmerson is filling in for Ainsley McPhail this morning, so let's check in and see where he's at. Hey, Danny.
Good morning, Terry. Good morning, Manitoba. Funny you say wintry conditions because, hate to be the bearer of bad news, it is right around the corner. We're going to find out a little bit about winter here at the Living Prairie Museum, and specifically what happens to some of the wildlife species that live here. I'm joined by Marika Olenek, who's the curator at the museum. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us. Now, you want to talk butterflies. What do they do during the winter months?
Yeah, that's a question we get a lot of the time, and they actually do a lot of different things. Some of them will actually fly south for the winter, just like most of our bird species do. So the most famous is probably the monarch butterfly. It's going to go all the way to Mexico. Some of them don't go quite as far. Some of these other little guys, like the red admiral butterfly, will fly a little ways south. They're trying to find warmer weather, so it's not as harsh. We get very cold winters here on the prairie, so anything that's going to stick around has to survive. Otherwise, they're going to head south.
And how does a tall grass prairie prairie ecosystem like the one here at Living Prairie Museum benefit the butterflies that do stay?
Yeah, so a lot of them that do stay are either going to winter as usually a little larva, so like a caterpillar, or sometimes even as an egg. And sometimes they're going to need to stay a little bit warmer. So going down close to the soil surface is warmer than out in the air. And they burrow down into the grass, into the leaves, things that are down on the ground to give them that extra insulation. So making sure that we have a lot of dead plants and shelter for them is really important because it keeps them from getting as cold and also protects them from getting trampled or anything else while they're frozen in the wintertime.
And how can people at home, if they do have butterflies, living in their own backyards, how can they help them prepare for winter?
Well, you might have heard of Leave the Leaves or some of these other campaigns. And the idea is by leaving tall dead grass, leaves, even just bundles of sticks and things like that around our yards, we provide those little shelter habitats, not just for butterflies, but for bees and all kinds of other insects that need to survive all through the wintertime.
And most pressing question, your favorite butterfly?
I have a really hard time choosing. I kind of love them all, but I do love the painted lady butterfly. They have this gorgeous color, and the cool thing is the outside of the wings looks like a dead leaf when they're all closed up. So it's also camouflaged when they're hiding in those leaves in the wintertime. So it's really cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing all of this, Marika, and we'll be back with more from here at the Living Prairie Museum as we head through the morning.
Looking at the early markets, the Dow Jones jumping overnight, the NASDAQ and S&P index also making positive gains. The loonie is trending higher at 71.30 cents U.S., the Hang Seng adding 407 points, the Nikkei is up 635 points. Welcome back. A man is facing charges after a family was terrorized during a home invasion Friday morning. It happened shortly after midnight at the home in the 200 block of College Avenue in the William White neighborhood. The homeowner was woken up by an intruder and actually confronted the man inside. Police say the suspect then grabbed a kitchen knife and began stabbing himself. The man then allegedly cornered the homeowner before police arrived and placed him under arrest. The suspect was taken to hospital in stable condition for self-inflicted wounds. A 26-year-old man is facing several charges, including break and enter with intent. Investigators believe substance use was a factor in the incident. Liberal MPs are set to spend the week selling the federal budget. The latest pitch coming from Canada's Environment and Energy Minister Sunday, highlighting the climate competitiveness strategy aimed at making this country a leader in the low-carbon economy. But as CTV's Jeremy Charon reports, some feel the plan falls short on detail.
It's a climate strategy that signals a shifting approach. One aiming to deal with a new global trade landscape, rapid technological advancements, and a move toward clean energy around the world, says Canada's Environment Minister.
This strategy connects our climate ambition with a plan for economic growth. It prioritizes measures that deliver the greatest emissions reductions and increases competitiveness at the lowest cost for Canadians.
But the framework is short on details and provides no update on where Canada stands on emissions reduction targets.
This climate competitiveness strategy, when we look at what Canada was doing prior, actually brings us back.
But the government says the plan had to change.
Energy and the environment must go hand in hand.
But balancing environmental ambitions and aspirations for new conventional energy projects will be a challenge. The strategy indicates an emissions cap on oil and gas could be dropped if other measures to cut pollution go ahead, a move industry has long called for.
It's helpful, but it's not anywhere close to providing a level of certainty that companies are going to look for before they're going to invest in things.
Still, the Prime Minister signaled Friday a new pipeline project is going to happen, but his energy minister stopped short of confirming that.
I learned a long time ago not to get ahead of my boss. There is agreement between the federal government and the Alberta government. We need to continue working on that. Those discussions are live. I will let my boss and the Premier of Alberta decide when they're ready to share the details of that with the public.
It is expected the Prime Minister will announce a second round of nation-building projects this week.
California dreamin' turned out to be a bit of a nightmare for the Winnipeg Jets as they wrapped up a 3-game stint in the Golden State Sunday in Anaheim. The Jets had already dropped 2 in a row, losing to the Kings and Sharks. And when they hit the ice yesterday against the Ducks. The only bright spot for the Jets in this game, Mark Scheifele and Josh Morrissey set up Kyle Connor, who scores this goal with just over 15:30 left in the second, cutting the Ducks' lead in half. That's Connor's 9th of the season. And that was the end of scoring for Winnipeg, however, as Anaheim cruised to a 4-1 victory. The Jets have 3 more on the road before returning home. They'll look to turn things around in Vancouver Tuesday night with a 9 p.m. start time. Christmas came early on London's Carnaby Street as it switched on its festive lights for the season. 3, 2, 1. The installation lights up the popular tourist spot. This year's theme is All is Bright, and I think they nailed it. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes are closed on Dugald Road from Plessis to Bates. Construction is expected to wrap up there later this week. 1 lane will be open in each direction on St. Anne's between Inman and St. Mary's. If you have any traffic tips or updates to share, text them to us at 10400.
Yeah, I'll share a little traffic tip. Give yourself some extra time this morning. We've got reduced visibility and reduced traction out there on the streets this morning. It's -6 and it feels like -13 with winds out of the south-southwest, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 97%. You can see what I'm talking about out there this morning. Those streets turning white. There's some snow on the streets that is stuck. I know up until now we've mostly just watched any flakes melt on contact, but today is the day that it does look to have just a light little dusting. And then, of course, the foggy conditions out there. Heavier clouds across the province, slightly clearer along the eastern border, but that may change as these clouds continue to build further to the east as well. And the temperatures, they'll be just on either side of the freezing mark, which means the possibility of some mixed precipitation. Could be seeing some flakes of snow, but maybe even a few raindrops all through parts of the northeast. Northwestern Manitoba might also see a little bit of that mixed precipitation in some places, or the further that you go up into the Lynn Lake area, maybe just some straight up snow. Heavier clouds not as likely to deal with the precipitation here through southwestern Manitoba. And while we have been seeing a little bit of the light flurry activity, it's likely to taper off just with some heavier clouds lingering through the day today, but some very strong winds at times gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. So that will add an additional bite to these cool temperatures, although that is in fact normal for this time of year. Even stronger winds expected up in the Gimli area. That's that icon that you were seeing there, the little swirls. And some heavier clouds will continue to build off to the east of us. I know right now it was looking fairly clear on the satellite image, but that will change as those clouds move through. Temperatures will be warming throughout the rest of this week, getting above seasonal and even up into the double digits. 0 degrees is normal for this time of year, but we won't stay there. We'll be cooling down with some precipitation passing through on Saturday.
101.3 Virgin Radio friends, join us this morning on this Monday. Ace, LTI, how you doing?
Very well.
Good morning.
It's nice to speak with you.
You too.
It's been too long.
It has been a while. How are the kids?
You guys just want to have a personal conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it offline.
I think we should. Why not?
Hey, we're going to run you something that happened on the show. If you have thoughts on this, good, bad, or indifferent, how to make it better, whatever you like, 99999. That's where you can text us. But we firmly believe we are on to something. Run it.
There will be perhaps major changes coming to parking on Winnipeg streets.
Yeah.
There may be areas now where you have to pay for parking at night or weekends in like high demand areas where previously you didn't have to pay. Other areas where you currently have to pay for parking, there might be no pay parking there at all. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of things are being discussed. This should also be discussed. City Hall, listen up. Every year, there's one per year, there's a huge lottery in Winnipeg. Okay? The city's broke, so we can raise money. Yep. People will love this. And the prize is the GPP. The Golden Parking Pass. You can park anywhere you like. Obviously, handicap parking spots and like things like hospitals and stuff, that's out. Jonathan, you would like to add what to this?
Yeah, the GBP, the Golden Bus Pass, for those of that don't really drive downtown that often and take the bus instead.
I love it.
Jonathan.
Tracy, what would you like to add to the Golden Parking Pass lottery idea?
I think I'd be willing to pay a little more for the lottery ticket if it included the in-park lots and the other ones. Because every time I go downtown, there's another new company that's got another lot.
You're right.
You're right.
Download an app.
You're right.
Some good ideas there. Okay, the fate of dozens of beluga whales stranded at a shuttered Ontario amusement park continues to spark controversy ever since Ottawa denied a request to sell them to an aquarium in China. There could be a solution on the East Coast, but as CTV's Garrett Berry explains, that comes with its own challenges.
The situation is dire at the former Marineland amusement park in Niagara Falls. A former trainer says pools are falling apart, animals are playing with concrete debris, and they should be removed immediately. The future of those animals is murky after Ottawa denied a permit to have the whales exported to China. But the small Newfoundland town of Burgeo is ready to help.
We feel the bay that we have there is well sheltered. It offers, deep waters as well as shallow waters, easily accessible.
Green says his town could take about 10 beluga whales and give them a good life in an enclosed but natural environment, provided it can access financial support.
We have a few third parties that are looking to help with this financially. Obviously, it's a huge financial undertaking in itself.
A second proposal for a sanctuary in Port Hilford Bay in Nova Scotia is even further along, having acquired a lease for Crown land from their provincial government.
Yes, it's ambitious. It takes a lot of money, but it's actually less money than any park would spend to build a new tank.
But according to a marine mammal expert, these proposals both face steep obstacles.
I like your comparison of a moonshot.
A mass relocation of animals like this has never quite happened before. You need infrastructure to regularly access and care for the animals. Even then, they may not adapt well.
Even if we say all of this has been solved, we still have no idea how it's going to work out. So it's an experiment.
Both of the proposed whale sanctuaries say they may be able to accept animals next summer. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
Taking a look at the Norwood Bridge, starting to get quite a bit busier on this Monday morning. Meanwhile, if you've got any traffic tips, we'd love to hear them. Text them to 10400. It's Monday, November 10th. Today, a scary situation. Why one woman is warning others about her experience at a Winnipeg hospital. Plus, a new tradition, how Indigenous veterans were honored at a local powwow. And winter is coming, how an event helped Manitobans prepare for ice fishing season. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Good morning, 7 a.m. on your Monday. Thanks for joining us here on Your Morning Winnipeg. I'm Catherine Dow, in today for Rochelle Legacy and Terry Gale, here as always, joining us. We have a lot going on the show today, including Terry and I are both theater girls, so we're going to like this one. Later on today, we're going to be hearing from the folks at Verden Theater company that are mounting a production of Something Rotten. Do you know this one, Terry?
I don't.
It's fun. It's like about these playwrights in like Shakespeare era London that are feeling like they're always competing with the bard, so they decide to create the first ever musical. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
Hello. We sold it right there. We love musicals. So that's coming up later on this hour. Meanwhile, Terry, I was a little surprised when I woke up this morning, kind of a light dusting out there of snow.
I know. We've seen a few flakes over the last week, at the end of last week anyway, and into the weekend, but nothing had really stuck until this morning, and now we are seeing that snow out on the streets. -6, that's what we're waking up to this morning as far as temperatures go, but you factor in the winds and it actually feels like -13 with that breeze out of the south-southeast. 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 97%. And yes, you can see that little bit of white activity out there on the streets. That is the light snow that fell in the early morning hours, and in fact you're still seeing just the odd snowflake now, but also some fog out there. So a couple of things that will be reducing the visibility and reducing the traction, so just give yourself a little bit of extra time to get wherever it is that you need to be today. Heavier clouds pretty much across the province. It's not looking as bad along this eastern border, but they will continue to build in areas off to the east of us as well. And then you can see that little bit of snow through central Manitoba as well. And really, honestly, across the province, a few flakes here or there. Things will be a little bit more active, though, across parts of northern Manitoba. And there you can see, especially into the evening time or later into the afternoon, and then continuing through the evening. With the temperatures right around the freezing mark, you may see snow, you may see some freezing rain. That's the pink that's showing up here, or maybe even some showers, the green, as it moves through. As the temperatures drop off into those overnight and early morning hours, we're back to flurries again. Tomorrow, we should actually see clearing here across southern Manitoba with a little more sunshine expected through the rest of the week until Friday. And that's when some heavier clouds will settle back in again. But it's also when our temperatures could hit the double digits. We'll be on the rise with everything after today. 0 degrees that we'll reach today is in fact normal, up to the double digits, and then starting to slide again after that. And I want to thank Eileen, 10 years old, for today's art. We appreciate what you've done here, and we'd like to see more of it. So send your pictures to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
The weather art of the day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Thanks, Terry. A Manitoba woman is speaking out about her experience at a Winnipeg hospital, sharing what she calls a life-threatening ordeal and an excruciating wait in the ER. CTV's Alex Karpa has her story.
Harriet Burkle was hospitalized for over a month at the beginning of 2024.
It happened so fast.
On the morning of December 31st, 2023, Burkle was taken to Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre by ambulance after not feeling well. She was triaged and put on a gurney, but proceeded to wait and wait and wait, getting no help for hours.
For 8 hours, I lay on that gurney, and no one checked my vitals. I'm starting to get worried. I'm feeling worse and worse.
Burkle knew she had to take matters into her own hands. She left the hospital, went home, called a second ambulance, returned to the hospital, and found out she had sepsis and only had 2 hours to live.
If I wouldn't have left the hospital, I would have been dead, because after 8 hours, no one had checked my vitals.
Manitoba's Shared Health said HSC is actively working to improve patient flow and reduce wait times. Last week, a triage nurse who CTV News agreed not to identify over fears of repercussions said they are surprised more people haven't died while waiting in emergency, and admits the situation will worsen if nothing is done to change it.
This has been a chronic issue that's been compounding over time.
Nick Casper, who himself is a firefighter, says hospital delays are also taking a toll on frontline staff.
Our members are sitting with stable, low acuity healthcare patients for hours at a time. And when I say hours, I mean, half a day.
It's surreal.
As for Burkle, she says her story should send a warning to others.
You really strongly have to advocate for yourself.
And her advocating for herself in a time of distress was a decision that saved her life. Alex Karpa, CTV News, Winnipeg.
Here in Winnipeg, a new tradition was born to honor the Indigenous veterans. The Indigenous Veterans of Manitoba hosted the first annual Indigenous Veterans Day Pow-Wow at Sergeant Tommy Prince Place in William White. Grand entry included the Eagle staff, Canadian and provincial flags, and members of the armed forces. Drummers played the honor song and flag song to pay tribute to fallen soldiers, a message that Gunner Ken Saunders echoed.
To honor the veterans at a powwow, it's a celebration for what they did. And it gives them the honor and the respect that we want to give our warriors. We're not just celebrating and then remembering the past, we're only going to remember the future, and we're going to try to remember the future that's coming, the future veterans that are coming.
The event also unveiled a new flag for the organization, featuring sweetgrass around a poppy. Captain Angela Brass, co-chair of the organization, says the event is a way to connect with fallen ancestors. Brass added that the event is a heart medicine for people recognizing Indigenous veterans and their fallen relatives. The City of Winnipeg has launched a podcast last year, and the Canadian Taxpayers Federation says almost no one is listening.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Now, we keep joking that we have two economists today for the price of one.
It's called Our City, Our Podcast. On each episode, 2 hosts interview a city employee about the work they do. It launched in April of 2024 at just under $35,000. According to documents obtained by the Taxpayers Federation, the city estimates the podcast has 81 subscribers. And as of Friday, the podcast has about 7,500 listens. The most popular episode on YouTube right now is about Winnipeg Transit with 152 views. The Taxpayers Federation calls it a failure on all counts.
We're calling on the city to cancel this podcast in ways to look to save government spending. When the city hiked property taxes by that 34-year high last year, was talking about upcoming cost pressures, other things the city has to spend on. But when things like this are still being approved and money is being spent on them, it shows that the city didn't look very far to actually go and find those savings for taxpayers.
In a statement to CTV News, a spokesperson for the city says the podcast is a valuable way to engage and share important information with residents. And it feels it gives the city a platform to highlight the work being done by city employees. Winter has arrived, and that means the ice fishing season is about to begin. The Winnipeg Ice Fishing Show returned to the Red River Exhibition Place over the weekend. Around 65 vendors indoors and more outside set up their shops with seminars and workshops to share tips and tricks about ice fishing. Organizers say the show has been growing year after year. He adds Manitoba is the epicenter of ice fishing, drawing people from Saskatchewan, northwestern Ontario, and even nearby states like North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. The Toy Hall of Fame has announced its latest list of inductees. Each year, the Hall of Fame recognizes toys that have inspired play across generations. This year, Slime, Battleship, and Trivial Pursuit join the ranks of iconic toys. Other Hall of Fames include My Little Pony, The Spinning Top, and Scrabble. Inductees are decided by a combination of public votes and expert panelists. Taking a look at the current traffic situation around Kenaston at Sterling Lion, starting to pick up there. Traffic volume starting to intensify a bit. Meanwhile, if you have any traffic tips or updates to share, you can always text them to us at 10400.
Weather is brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Heavy snow in Chicago, one of the busiest U.S. aviation hubs, is set to compound the travel chaos across North America as government-mandated restrictions on flights enter a 4th day. Airlines felt the brunt of escalating cancellations and delays from New York to Dallas, up over the border here in Canada, as well as mounting disruptions put passengers and crews out of place. On top of that, weather-related disruptions in Chicago led to more than 10,000 delayed or canceled services on Sunday alone. In the meantime, the impasse in Washington surpassed 40 days, though the Senate took a key step forward on Sunday to reopening the government when some moderate Democrats sided with Republicans. It's still unclear, though, whether the stalemate will be lifted given significant opposition in the House of Representatives. Visa and MasterCard in the U.S. are negotiating a settlement with merchants that will reduce fees there, but could also see vendors refusing certain credit cards, according to a new report. Under the proposed settlement, Visa and MasterCard would lower credit card interchange fees, which are paid by merchants and are typically between 2 and 2.5%, to an average of around 0.1 percentage point over several years. Now, there was a similar settlement in Canada recently from a class action lawsuit, and that is only going into effect now. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
CTV's Daniel Halmerson is spending his morning at the Living Prairie Museum, communing with nature, if you will. How's the morning treating you, Daniel?
Oh, it's great, Catherine. We're learning a little bit about the Living Prairie Museum, which is celebrating its 50th anniversary next year. 100th is a little further away, but coming up this morning, we're going to learn more about the ecosystem here. It's one of the last remaining tallgrass prairie ecosystems in central North America. Coming up, we're going to find out about a special designation that the Living Prairie Museum has that ensures the safeguarding of the species and plant life here. So stick around. We'll be back with more at 7:27.
Such a gem of a museum. Thanks for that, Daniel. Terry's made her way up to the rooftop. You've lost the umbrella. That's promising, Terry.
Okay, so maybe I just thought that it was like a little bit excessive. I do enjoy the theatrics of it all, but no, it was snowing heavier earlier this morning, where I actually felt like I was going to get wet standing out here. Now it's just kind of still some light flakes, but they're wafting lightly, and I feel like I can stand out here for a minute and not come back inside looking like a drowned rat when that snow eventually melts and leaves me dripping. Anyway, it's -6 right now, so that temperature hasn't budged, and the wind speed is the same out of the south, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity is sitting at 96%, and those winds could still get stronger throughout the day today at times, maybe gusting to about 60 kilometers per hour. So winds increasing, adding that additional bite to the air, with the temperatures only likely to climb to the freezing mark today, which, by the way, is normal for this time of year. And I suppose so is snow, and we'll likely still see a few more of those flakes today, with the heavier clouds likely to last throughout the day. But throughout the rest of this week, we'll actually see some clearing and brighter days ahead, and even warmer days ahead. Today we'll get to the freezing mark, but plus digits through the rest of the week.
Thanks so much, Terry. Time now for our question of the day. So Slime, Battleship, and Trivial Pursuit, they are all entering the Toy Hall of Fame. So this has inspired us. We want to know, what was your favorite toy growing up? You can text your answers along with your name to 10400. Make sure to follow the automated instructions so we can feature your response. At Your Morning Winnipeg, we are all about celebrating your amazing pets, furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions have been amazing, and we want to see even more, whether it's dogs, cats, birds, any other pet pals. Send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to Pet of the Week at ctv.ca, and catch us every Thursday to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on Your Morning Winnipeg. Provencher Bridge starting to pick up in terms of those traffic volumes. Traction and visibility a little bit reduced, so take caution. We're taking a break, but be sure to join us on the other side.
Never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
Winnipeg police have recaptured an inmate who escaped from a minimum security healing lodge last month. Corey Everett and another inmate escaped from the facility in Crane River on October 30th. The other escapee was recaptured 2 days later. Winnipeg police caught up with Everett Thursday morning. The Correctional Service of Canada says an investigation is underway into the circumstances of the escape. As Canada looks to rework its relations with China, a former Canadian diplomat has a warning.
Making China the core of that strategy, not a good idea, because it's not geopolitically a reliable partner, and as it's demonstrated time and again, if you create dependency on China, it will weaponize it for political purposes and to silence Canada and constrain our foreign policy.
Michael Kovrig's comments come more than a week after Prime Minister Mark Carney met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in South Korea. It was the first meeting between the country's top leaders in 8 years. Kovrig says instead of focusing just on China, it is important to have diversification across multiple partners. The Grey Cup made its grand entry to Winnipeg with style under airmen's protection. 2 airmen of the Royal Canadian Air Force rappelled down to the CN stage at the Forks with the cup inside a rucksack. A CH-146 helicopter from the 408th Tactical Helicopter Squadron from Edmonton escorted the cup, and it was a new experience for the CFL.
Watching that Canadian Armed Forces helicopter hover over the ground here at the Forks and the Grey Cup rappelling down was something incredibly special. I've never seen anything like that before. I couldn't imagine a better way to kick off Grey Cup week. Let's have a great game on Sunday. Looking forward to stay safe, but enjoy yourselves.
The Saskatchewan Roughriders will take on the Montreal Alouettes in the 112th Grey Cup on Sunday. And this will be the 5th time Winnipeg has hosted the Cup. Taking a look at the current traffic situation around Confusion Corner. Rush hour in full swing, more headlights on the road than when we last checked in. Visibility is a bit compromised, as is traction. Meanwhile, if you're having any traffic tips, you can always text us at 10400.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Time now for your entertainment news. The latest installment in the Predator franchise dominated the weekend box office.
You're after a creature that can't be killed.
Predator Badlands is the 9th movie in the science fiction series. It obliterated the competition with $40 million US across North America. Colleen Hoover's Regretting You brought in $7.1 million for second place, and Black Phone 2 held on to its spot in the top 3 with $5.3 million in ticket sales. A unique experience is returning to the Centennial Concert Hall. The Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra is bringing back From the Inside Out. The event places audience members on stage surrounded by musicians so you can see for yourself what it's like to be in an orchestra with the musicians' silent communication and subtle shifts. It runs from January 13th to the 15th. Tickets are available at the WSO's box office, but you'll have to act fast. Last year, all 3 shows sold out. And Hilary Duff has released her first new song in 10 years.
She loves when she hears you say you're so mature for your age, baby. She looks like she could be your daughter.
Marking her long-awaited return to music, the track is called Mature. In a press release, Duff says the song reflects a conversation between her present self and her younger self. She released her last album in 2015 and says she always knew she would return to music, but needed some time to grow and reflect. And your primetime lineup starts at 7 with St. Denis Medical and Stumble. The Voice is on at 8, followed by The Weakest Link and Tracker. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arborg, Manitoba.
All right, looking outside on the streets right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And a light dusting of snow you'll notice out there, and still some foggy conditions as well. Visibility is down to about 3 kilometers, so keep that in mind. You might need to give yourself just a little extra time getting where you need to go today. As far as temperatures go, you're going to want to throw those extra layers on as well. Even though we're below the freezing mark right now, we're actually not quite at seasonal values. -8 would be normal for this time of year, and here in Winnipeg we're still a couple above that. It is a little bit cooler in Brandon at -8, the more seasonal temperatures, but that's actually up a couple of degrees because last hour you were at -10, so you're already starting to see some improvements. Dropping off though, Dauphin was at -2 last hour, and now you've lost a few degrees. Moving up into parts of northern Manitoba, that's where we're seeing some minus double digits again up here into the far northeast. Northwestern Manitoba is actually considerably milder, just below the freezing mark in the Lynn Lake area. Now, heavier clouds are expected across the province today, and we've been seeing that light bit of precipitation as well. In flurry form, that'll be the case, is certainly through the morning hours. As it warms up through the day today, some places might see more mixed precipitation. I think here in Winnipeg we'll probably see it tapering off, but the heavier clouds sticking around. Up to -2 by lunchtime and -1 by the time kids are coming home from school today. Our expected high is 0 degrees, which we'll reach later in the afternoon, and that is in fact normal for this time of year. But after today, above seasonal temperatures and even a brighter sky. Until Friday, heavier clouds, but double digits expected. And a very cool shot taken up the Cross Lake area. Don't try this here in the south. Our waters are not frozen yet, not enough anyway. Thanks to Gordon for the photo, and keep them coming please to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
Thanks, Terry. What a stunning photo. A community initiative in Innisfil, Ontario is allowing people to pay their parking tickets in a different way this month. The Scrooge the Ticket campaign allows anyone that gets a parking ticket in the town between November 15th and 29th to pay it in the form of a donation to the local food bank or community fridge instead. The donation must be the same dollar value as the parking ticket. Nearly $8,500 was collected last year. Since the campaign started in 2014, it's raised $42,000 in total. The federal government is trying to help those looking to build a house by unveiling a catalog of standardized home designs. As CTV's Annie Bergeron-Oliver reports, they say the specifications will help save time and money.
In the decades after the Second World War, neighborhoods like this, filled with almost identical single-family homes, popped up across Canada. Now the federal government is hoping to do it again with a 21st century twist based on Victory homes.
All of these packages provide this a big head start for builders looking to build these kinds of homes in our communities.
The housing design catalog created by the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation and the federal government features 50 standardized plans with detailed architectural drawings. They range from 493 square foot accessory homes to stacked townhouses and even fourplexes and sixplexes. A big benefit, the drawings are free and nearly permit ready.
These are really ready-to-go drawings. You could be looking to cut 3 to 6 months off of your development time frame by using these plans, and we all know that time is money.
Ottawa hopes the streamlined permit process will save money and help boost supply, especially if multifamily homes are prioritized. But many developers say design hasn't been a big barrier to building.
Constructive materials have continued to go up. Approvals, development charges, just all of the inputs to housing have continually gone up over the years, as well as the time it takes for us to get them approved and build them. And that's really it.
Though developers admit the drawings could help small companies or individuals in some municipalities, experts say affordability will still be a challenge. Construction costs alone are estimated to range from about $205,000 to $5.7 million, depending on your location and type of build.
It's nice to have, it's nice window dressing, but it's not going to move the yardstick in, affordability.
$11.6 million was allocated to this project in the 2024 budget. Ottawa won't say how many new housing units it hopes the catalog will generate, only that it hopes the designs will make building easier and cheaper. Annie Bergeron-Oliver, CTV News, Ottawa.
The Living Prairie Museum celebrates all the incredible species that call Manitoba home. Coming up at 7:28, Daniel Halverson takes you inside. Certainly is a lovely start to the morning with Daniel Halverson at the Living Prairie Museum. You know, there's so much biodiversity in this province, Daniel. I kind of take it for granted, but it's really on display at that museum.
It truly is, Catherine. It's on display now right outside. The sun's finally coming up, and we're seeing how beautiful this ecosystem is. It's a tall grass prairie. It's one of the last existing ones in North America. I'm joined once again by Marika Olenek, the Living Prairie Museum curator. And the museum was given a special designation just earlier this year. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. We are now recognized as a key biodiversity area. So this is an international recognition for sites that are really important for preserving species and biodiversity. And this recognizes not only that we have an endangered ecosystem, the tallgrass prairie right here in Winnipeg, but also that there are some really special plants and animals that live here that live almost nowhere else.
All right, so what are we looking at here, this beautiful flower?
Yeah, so this is the downy gentian, and it's this beautiful blue-purple flower. Our site is one of the only places in Manitoba that we know that it grows, and we've got a number of little ones that grow out on the northern edge of our prairie that have persisted here for thousands of years.
And what else do we have in your little slideshow here?
Yeah. So we've got also a really interesting little moth called Whitney's underwing. This is what the caterpillar looks like. And we actually spotted this caterpillar earlier this summer. First time we'd seen it since 2018. And before that, there were records going back over 100 years. So this is what the little moth looks like when it comes out and flies around in the summertime. But the fact that this is still here, this is the only place in Canada that it's ever been seen.
And so with this designation, what does that say about the work you're doing here at the museum?
Yeah, it lets us know that not only protecting this habitat is important, but also the way we're managing it is working. So we do things like prescribed fires that move around on the prairies. That helps renew the plants, and it keeps the habitat really healthy. And it seems to be working because, again, the little bush that these guys need to feed on is still growing. Those little downy gentian flowers are still growing. So we know we're doing a good job of taking care of the habitat.
That's awesome. And you can come and tour the grounds here on self-guided tours anytime you'd like.
Looks wonderful. All right, thanks for that, Daniel. Checking in with Terry Gale. Terry, I gotta say, the weekend, it was really starting to feel a lot more like typical November here in Manitoba. Wasn't a fan, personally, but I mean, this is what's expected, I guess. We should be used to it by now.
I know, but that's just it. When we've been spoiled with above seasonal temperatures, and then all of a sudden it just hits so starkly. I went out for a walk on Saturday, and I was bundled up, and I still thought, oof, I could use a few more layers. Anyway, you might want to throw those extra layers on again this morning because these winds will be pretty strong once again. -6 is where we're sitting right now, is still technically above seasonal. A normal low would be -8, so we're at least a couple above that. But the winds are 26 clicks out of the south right now, and they will likely still increase in speed. The pressure is falling. The humidity is sitting at 96%, and you can see how white things are looking down on the streets below, and that's because there's been some light snow falling throughout the morning hours, and this time around it's stuck. I know up until now we've seen a few flakes, but it's all melted on contact, and that is not the case this morning as it's starting to look a little bit white out there. Wintry, if you will. We're seeing heavier clouds across the province. There's a bit of that precipitation showing up on the satellite image. We've only seen a few flakes lightly wafting in the last hour or so. It was a little bit heavier and steadier earlier on this morning, but it will likely continue to taper off as the day goes on, and then just some heavier clouds lingering, but winds at times gusting to 60 kilometers per hour. As we try to get to the freezing mark, that's likely as good as it'll get. But 0 degrees is in fact a normal daytime high, and -8, I mentioned, a normal low will stay well above that tonight, dropping only a degree below the freezing mark and rising well into the plus digits tomorrow, with a little more sunshine expected as these clouds continue to clear. But tomorrow still some stronger winds expected out of the north. From there, plus digits all throughout the rest of the week, even getting up to the double digits Friday with some heavier clouds and then starting to slide. And by Sunday, with sunshine returning, we're back below the freezing mark again.
Thank you, Terry. Some good news for Sage Creek residents slapped with speeding tickets. Drivers told CTV News they were fined after school zone signs were installed in the wrong spot. Turns out they were right.
$403. I got nabbed. Close to $1,000, if not a touch more.
St. Vidal Councillor Brian Mays confirms some of the 30-kilometer speed limit signs on Des Havernant Boulevard were initially put in the wrong place. The signs were moved closer to the school a couple of weeks later. Mays says police stopped doing enforcement in the zone when it was discovered. If you've got a speeding ticket before that happened, the province said on Friday it's being tossed. A statement from Manitoba Justice says active tickets will be stayed, meaning they will not proceed to court. And tickets that have already been paid will be reviewed and refunds will be issued where appropriate. The province says it's accelerating the revitalization of a community center and childcare facility in Brandon.
This is going to bring childcare and recreational and social space to a new level in this part of Brandon. But importantly, this is about a hub for a community.
An additional $1 million is going to the Park Community Center. The money will allow the City of Brandon to issue a request for proposals for the project. The new center is expected to accommodate 120 people with more than 60 spaces in the child care facility operated by the YMCA. The province says it's now spent $9 million in the project. The city has contributed $1.4 million. The U.S. Senate has passed a deal aimed at ending the longest government shutdown in its history.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Democrats are breaking with their party to vote in favor of an agreement. The deal doesn't include a key demand from Democrats, which is extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that are due to expire this year. Instead, Republicans are only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month. The deal will need to clear several more hurdles before federal workers can get paid and services return. 1.4 million federal employees have been on unpaid leave or working without pay since the U.S. government ran out of money October 1st. The chair of the BBC is expected to apologize today after 2 resignations and claims of institutional bias. The head of the BBC, Director General Tim Davie, and the broadcaster's top news executive, Deborah Turness, both handed in their resignations yesterday. This comes after criticism of the way the organization edited a speech by U.S. President Donald Trump. A leaked BBC memo suggested 2 parts of Trump's speech were cut together, so he appeared to encourage the Capitol Hill riots in 2021. The chair of the BBC will apologize in a written statement to a parliamentary committee today. 2 Major League Baseball pitchers are in hot water over a betting scandal. Cleveland Guardian pitchers Emmanuel Clase and Luis Ortiz are alleged to have taken bribes to give sports bettors advance notice of the type of pitches they'd throw. They also allegedly threw balls intentionally instead of strikes to ensure successful bets. An indictment unveiled Sunday claims they both took thousands of dollars from two gamblers. They're facing charges including conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering. They'd both been on non-disciplinary paid leave since July, while Major League Baseball investigated unusually high in-game betting activity when they pitched. King Charles led a ceremony Sunday in London to remember those who have died during times of war. The crowd fell silent for 2 minutes as Parliament's big band tolled at 11 a.m. The national ceremony of remembrance is held every year on the nearest Sunday to the anniversary of the end of the First World War on November 11th. Similar memorial services are held in dozens of towns, cities, and military bases across Britain. Some road closures to remind you about this morning. All eastbound lanes are closed on Dugald Road from Plessis to Bates. Construction is expected to wrap up there later this week. And one lane will be open in each direction on St. Anne's between Inman and St. Mary's. If you have any traffic tips or updates to share, text them to us at 10400. Taking a check on your gas prices, the Canadian average stands at $1.35. The provincial average slightly lower at $1.31. In Winnipeg, the average is $1.31, and the lowest price in the city is $1.14. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today. Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
All right, seeing that fresh dusting of snow out there this morning, and this time around, it's stuck. -6 is where we're sitting, though it feels like -13 with winds out of the south, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 96%. And those winds will be a noticeable factor today, adding an extra bite to the air, and already it's going to be cool with us just barely getting to seasonal temperatures today. But I know we haven't really adjusted to what is normal because for the most part, we've been fairly spoiled with above seasonal temperatures, and we will be once again after today. But today will look a little bit cloudy, as you can see here on the satellite image, and even a little bit of that snow that we've been seeing there as well. Right up into northern Manitoba, it might start as snow, but as your temperatures climb and end up either just below or maybe just above the freezing mark, there is the possibility that flurries could change to showers, and you might see a drop or two of rain in there as well. So that possibility is there across northern Manitoba. And then once we're starting to look into central and southern Manitoba, mainly cloudy conditions. We're probably going to be seeing this light bit of snow tapering off. It already has been over the course of the morning. It was far more active a couple of hours ago when I was coming into work, and now I've even just noticed it a light bit of snow wafting out there, not necessarily a steady snowfall by any means. To the freezing mark is where we're headed today, which is normal for this time of year. We will notice those winds increasing, but stronger yet up in Gimli. That's that icon there is indicating the strong winds that you can expect. And across the eastern border, while it's clearer right now, you too will see those clouds building throughout the day. I mentioned it gets warmer after today. Look at this, some plus-digit temperatures with the sunshine returning. Quite mild through the week, especially so on Friday, though it will get a little bit cloudier with those double digits. And then some rain on Saturday, and following that, the temperatures back below the freezing mark.
Thank you, Terry. Checking back in with CTV's Daniel Halmerson, spending the morning at the Living Prairie Museum. What are you up to now, Daniel?
Well, Catherine, we all know that winter is right around the corner, as we're hearing Terry talk about today. And the folks here at Living Prairie Museum are hunkering down, too, for themselves and some of the critters. I'm joined once again by curator Marika Olenek. Now, I'm kind of getting into that hibernation mode. I'm sleeping a little more, time change. How do some of the animals kind of prepare for winter here?
Yeah, well, what we're seeing a lot is some behavior changes in the deer that live in our city. So we wanted to talk about that a little bit this morning. As people might know, fall is breeding season for the deer. And so the males have their nice big antlers all grown out for the year. And they're going to be moving around the city quite a bit more, looking for mates, things like that. As well, deer don't hibernate for the winter. They've got to pack on some pounds. So they are looking for the last bits of food that they can get before the snow really falls and things get a lot colder and it gets harder to find food.
So to coexist with them, you know, in our habitat here in Winnipeg, what should people be aware of when they're driving around or walking around the neighborhood?
Well, yeah, especially this time of year. We know it's getting darker earlier, so it's a little bit harder to see those deer. So people should definitely be on the lookout if they're driving around. Deer are also moving around more, so they are a little more active throughout the day. The times of day, though, to really look out for them are dawn and dusk. That's also when it's harder to see them. So being really careful as you're moving around, driving around, especially if you're in Charleswood, areas near the rivers or near the edge of the city is where we see a lot more deer. So being extra cautious this time of year is a great idea.
And one thing we're going to see over the next little bit is antlers, like the ones you're holding coming off. What should people know if they come across an antler?
Yeah, well, so every single year the male deer are growing and then shedding these antlers in the wintertime. And people do like to collect them. They're beautiful, but they're also really important for other animals. These antlers, once they fall on the ground, will often get chewed on by rodents, beavers, other animals, because it's actually a source of calcium for them. That's a really hard thing for them to get in their habitats. And so you can actually even see it on some of these antlers. They've been worn down because they've been chewed by those little rodent teeth.
Very, very cool. We'll have more from the Living Prairie Museum coming up in the 8 o'clock hour.
Thank you, Daniel. Menopause hits women at a time when many of them are in the prime of their careers. And recent research is starting to show how the economic impact of missed work due to symptoms. Now some employers are taking notice as people push for change. ABC's Elizabeth Schultz reports.
This morning I woke up in a delicate puddle of sweat, nature's way of saying good morning during menopause.
This morning, as the conversation around menopause turns more public, with celebrities like Naomi Watts, Oprah, and Halle Berry opening up about their menopause journeys, women like Chris Rogers in California are also speaking out about the need for accommodations in the workplace.
I just couldn't do it anymore, and it became a big issue.
She quit her office job after experiencing menopause symptoms, including mood swings, joint pain, and heavy bleeding at work.
I was having to go to the bathroom like every half an hour, and it's really disruptive to your workday.
She's not alone. Stanford researchers called economic losses the menopause penalty. Their report estimating that working women's earnings may decline 10% in the 4 years after they were diagnosed with menopause, when they had to work fewer hours or leave the workforce altogether because of their symptoms.
We midlife women are definitely at the peak of our careers and we're needed in the workforce. And if we can't perform our jobs, then that's really significant.
Companies and policymakers are taking note. This summer, Rhode Island became the first state to pass a law requiring that employers provide reasonable accommodation to women going through menopause. Doctors say that can include offering better ventilation or giving the option to opt out of a uniform to help women manage hot flashes, and setting time aside for more frequent bathroom breaks.
Half of our population is women, and every single woman that lives long enough is going to go through menopause, and most of us are going to have symptoms of some kind. I think there just needs to be more flexibility in general in our workplaces.
Let's see who's having a celebration today and celebrating a milestone. Happy birthday, Rhiannon. Love your cousins. Happy birthday to Glenn with love from Ellen and Barry, who says they miss you. Happy 48th birthday, Barney, Quincy Vaughn, Boston Jackson, and the gang at North 40 Ranch. Special 8th birthday greetings to Cashley, love Grammy, and Great Grandpa Jack. Happy 6th birthday, Stanley Jr. from your family and friends. Happy 10th birthday, Lucas from your family. Happy 11th birthday, Bryn, love from your family. Happy 7th birthday, Mason, with love from Nana and Grandpa. Happy birthday and welcome to the double digits, Isaiah, with love from Mom and Dad. Happy birthday, Colleen, with love from family and friends. And happy 49th birthday, Sylvie, from friends and family. Happy birthday, Jet Len, lots of love from Mom, Dad, and Lunella. And happy 101st birthday, Emily, and best wishes from all your family and friends. To submit your milestone, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca. Fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Milestones is brought to you by Party Stuff. 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca. Weather is brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
All right, today we're looking to climb to the freezing mark, which is a normal daytime high for this time of year. Last year, we soared well beyond that to 10 degrees, but it was 1876 that we hit that record, 17.8 degrees, almost 18 degrees for early November. That would be a bit of a shock to the system. And in fact, we might have our own little shock to the system later on this week as these temperatures really start to soar. Today, that won't be the case. Instead, the flurries. That's what we're waking up to this morning, and some heavier fog, reduced visibility, and I've been saying some reduced traction as well, as that snow this time around has actually stuck. So a light dusting out on the streets and sidewalks. -6 is where we're sitting right now. -8 is actually a normal low, so we are still above what is normal for this time of year. The winds are noticeable, though, out of the south at 26 kilometers per hour, and those winds are still likely to increase throughout the day today. So up to about 60 wind gusts. That will be a breezy one today with these slightly cool, I mean seasonal temperatures, but it's an adjustment, certainly. And then all of a sudden back up to above seasonal temperatures through the rest of the week with a lot more sunshine. And then Friday, that's the day that we could hit double digits, but by then some heavier clouds, and then it all starts to cool down once we're looking ahead to the coming weekend.
Something is rotten in the town of Verden. A local theater company is bringing the hit Broadway musical to the Manitoba stage, delighting audiences with the hilarious tale of two playwrights in the 1590s who wrote the world's first ever musical. Joining me now to share more about this is Michelle Chisnick, Verden Theater Productions Artistic Director, and Dean Munchinsky, Director and Set Designer. Good morning to you both. Thanks for being with us.
Good morning.
This is such a fun show. I love it so much. Can you just tell, for those who aren't familiar, don't know Something Rotten, what's it all about?
It is set in Shakespeare's times. It's about two playwrights who are struggling to make their way in theater. William Shakespeare used to be part of their troupe and was fired, and now they've got this fight back between the two of them to try to get some kind of excitement, money, all of the things that go along with theater.
Living in the barred shadow, so to speak.
Yeah. It's a hilarious show.
It is so funny. I've personally seen it. It's a great time. Seems like a great fit too. And what's also awesome is, maybe if you're not even familiar with the show, the theater in Verden alone is worth the trip. Am I right?
Yeah, it really is. The Odd was built in 1912, one of the last opera houses. It is beautiful. It's a jewel. People are just shocked when they walk through the doors. It's gorgeous.
And Michelle, I understand this is really a labor of love. There's so much involvement from volunteers, folks all around the community to bring this to life.
Yes, the performers come from many different towns from Westman, and so much volunteer labor. The costumes are being hand sewn. There is volunteers from so many different places creating the props and the set and all sorts of things. We have a choreographer from Brandon, lots of dance numbers.
Love it.
Here's one of our props here.
It's like a playbill, huh?
Our beautiful head sketches.
Not headshots. Period appropriate. These look amazing.
Yes, yes. We have an artist, photographer. This is actually him. He's playing William Shakespeare. Brilliant, brilliant performer, and also photographer, artist.
And do you both, I know it's probably like picking a favorite child, but do you both have a favorite number or favorite part of the show?
Well, I chose the shows because of the dance numbers. I love the dance numbers, and a musical is definitely a highlight. It has probably over 30 quotes from different musicals. It goes on forever. Just quite a spectacle.
And Dean, you directed, also set designed.
Yes.
What was that experience like, transforming this theater into Shakespeare-era London?
Well, one of the lovely things about having a theater that's 115 years old is it doesn't have any wings to work with. So we do. The sets are actually a character within our show. So we have the actors are moving the sets around. You have to take one set and turn it into three, and it becomes a lot of fun. People that come to the shows enjoy watching that happen. Yeah.
Well, what I like about this, Michelle, let me know if you agree, I think that this is a great entry-level show. So if you're a Broadway nerd like me, great. But if you're maybe not so familiar with Broadway, this is a very palatable show to kind of everybody.
Yes, we would agree. Everybody should enjoy this show. It's wonderfully entertaining. Lots of jokes. It's hilarious. Lots of spectacle. So we highly recommend it.
And I also love the idea of supporting local theater, right? Like it just does. It's a labor of love, as mentioned, and it's just an incredible local artery of the community, like Verden.
You know, Verden has had. We've got people that are coming out from Winnipeg and coming out from Regina, from Saskatoon, because of the shows that we have. It's a thing. Verden is not that far.
No,
you
it's
just
not.
have to just trip past that perimeter.
It's hard for some of us, but I think we can do it.
It's
right?
worthwhile. Verden's a great place to visit.
It absolutely is. So, Michelle, folks out there watching that maybe want to come and see this show, when is it running? How can they come and be a part of the
It's running
audience?
November 26th to 30th, and we have matinee shows on the weekend. So there are 6 performances to choose from, and tickets are available at 3 Common.
Wonderful. And I guess last but not least, you want to give folks a little last selling point? Why should they come see this show? What's so wonderful?
You know, it's the whole package. It is a beautiful show. It's hilarious. It's smart. It's fun, and it's accessible. We've got dance. We got jokes. We got amazing acting. I'm very proud of my actors. They are impressive people.
As you should be. It sounds like it's going to be a wonderful performance. Thank you both so much for being here, and we'll have details on our website for anyone else who's looking to join in on the audience for Something Rotten.
How you doing? Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. And for it, we head to Ottawa for the Canadian Premier League Championship game. Ottawa facing Cavalry FC in a blizzard. 40th minute, the ball delivered into the box. And David Rodriguez pulls off the bicycle kick goal. Incredible scenes and an unreal finish, especially given the conditions. Maybe easier than shooting it along the snow. Just saying. His first of 2 in the match as Ottawa takes the North Star Cup, and Rodriguez claims the must-see moment. Tonight on TSN, we wrap up Week 10 in the NFL with Monday Night Football. The Eagles face the Packers in Green Bay. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The TSN Must-See Moment is brought to you by Super Blinds, helping your home get holiday ready with Blinds by Hunter Douglas.
It's Monday, November 10th. A Winnipeg woman is speaking out and warning others to advocate for themselves following a long and harrowing wait in a local emergency room. Selling the budget ahead of the vote. Parties say their support for Carney's fall fiscal plan is anything but a certainty. And it's no 5-star chalet, but this Alpine shelter is headed for less harsh surroundings, where folks on the ground can now appreciate it. Your Morning Winnipeg starts right now. Welcome back. It's 8 a.m. on your Monday morning. Thanks for staying with us here in Manitoba. I'm Catherine Dow in the chair today for Rochelle Legacy, joined by Terry Gale. As always, we've got quite the guest coming up. He's called kind of the keeper of the Grey Cup, the custodian, if you will. I don't know if I could name a cooler job than that. So the Grey Cup has obviously landed in Winnipeg quite literally because it was escorted down by members of the Canadian Armed Forces. Super cool. And it's making its way to us here in studio. Making its way also, Terry, I noticed some snowfall out there.
Yeah, that showed up last night. Well, actually, we started to see a few flakes of snow by the end of last week and through the weekend, but most of it was melting on contact until this morning, and now you can see that light dusting of snow outside. It's -6 at the moment with winds out of the south, 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 96%. So yes, a little bit of light snow has now stuck. That's what we're waking up to this morning, and still a few more flakes are falling with some heavier clouds expected across the entire province. Now that snow was a little bit heavier and steadier earlier on this morning. It is beginning to taper off, but still a few flakes out there and increasing winds along with these heavy clouds. Things are starting to look like winter. Oh, and there's also some fog out there this morning too, so visibility is greatly reduced. We'll deal with those conditions throughout the day today, maybe a little more active across parts of northern Manitoba, especially later on into the afternoon. Temperatures just on either side of the freezing mark. So you might see flurries, you might even see some freezing rain or some showers. And then clearing out nicely for tomorrow. We'll see a slightly brighter day and warmer temperatures after today as well. In fact, by the end of the week, we could be up in the double digits. And I know that seems like a bit of a shock to think that we're waking up to snow this morning and could hit 10 degrees by Friday, but that's what we're looking at with sunshine over the next few days. With that 10 degrees comes some slightly heavier clouds and temperatures dropping after that. Thanks to Eileen, 10 years old, for today's art, and we would love to see what it is that you're working on. Draw, color, or paint. Get creative and send your picture to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca.
The Weather Art of the Day is brought to you by 103.1 Virgin Radio.
Thanks, Terry. A Manitoba woman is warning others to advocate for themselves after she says a long ER wait time almost cost her her life.
For 8 hours, I lay on that gurney and no one checked my vitals.
Harriet Burkle was taken to Winnipeg's Health Sciences Centre by ambulance after not feeling well last year. She was triaged and put on a gurney, but ended up waiting for 8 hours to get any help. Burkle decided to go home and called a second ambulance. When she returned to the hospital, she found out she had sepsis and was told she only had 2 hours to live. Other first responders and frontline workers are also speaking out against long ER wait times. HSC says it's actively working to improve the flow of patients in the ER. Can you recognize the signs of sexual exploitation and human trafficking? Well, a new awareness campaign wants to educate the public, and you'll be seeing it at big events around the city. Friday marked the launch of the Can You See Us? Exploitation is Not a Game campaign. Its message: large-scale sporting and entertainment events see an increased risk for sexual exploitation and human trafficking. The campaign educates the public on how to spot the signs and calls on everyone to take responsibility for safety, respect, and healing.
It's a $1 billion industry that is rooted from trauma and pain of, the power over people's bodies. So it's important for people, when there's big events happening, there's other movements happening more than what's on the stage, more than what sport may be played. It's 24/7.
Besides events, you'll see the campaign artwork at Winnipeg transit stops, city facilities, and other places around the city. The federal Liberals still have another confidence vote to get through in order for their budget to pass and to avoid an election.
We believe that people who may have voted Conservative or think of voting Conservative, these are concepts that they can support, that they can get behind. It's a budget that's firmly planted in the middle of Canadian politics.
Government House Leader Steve McKinnon says the opposition party should support the document. The Liberals are 2 seats shy of a majority government. They've already survived 2 confidence votes in the House related to the budget. The third will happen next Monday. If the budget fails to pass, Canadians could be headed into another election. The Conservatives and Bloc have already said they won't support the budget. The 2 parties have each laid out a series of conditions for their votes. The NDP, meanwhile, says it's still deciding. A longtime shelter for climbers in Italy's Dolomites mountain range is taking its place alongside other pieces of Alpine history. This shelter stood 3,000 meters above sea level for more than 50 years, offering refuge from harsh conditions for climbers. It's now going to be displayed in a nearby science museum as part of an exhibit about life in high altitude environments and the effects of climate change. Taking a look at the current traffic situation around Main and Broadway, a snowy drive and some traffic volume starting to increase. Meanwhile, if you're having any issues on the roads or updates to share, you can text us at 10400. CTV's Daniel Halmerson is spending the morning at the Living Prairie Museum. What do you got up next, Daniel?
Well, Catherine, if folks are wondering about some things they want to do as it gets colder out, you're always looking something for the kids or even yourselves. The Living Prairie Museum's a great spot to come, especially on weekends. I'm joined once again by curator Marika Olenek. Tell us a little bit about some of the weekend programming that happens here.
Yeah, so we're open on Saturdays from 11 a.m. till 4, and we're doing free drop-in programs, different theme each week that people can come do some hands-on activities and learn a little bit more about nature.
And what's happening this weekend? We're talking about the caretaker of the prairies.
That's right. The bison or the buffalo are one of the most important animals on the prairies. They help take care of the land. They spread seeds. They move plants around. They keep the prairie healthy. So we've got some activities to teach people about that. One thing that you can do when you come here this weekend is going to be making your own little seed bomb. So just like a bison would move seeds around on its coat or even in its poop to plant new plants, you can make a little seed bomb. We've got clay and all kinds of little seeds here. We can put them together. And you can get really creative. We've got some examples of some beautiful artwork that people have done in the past. And make your own little seed bomb. This is to take it home, spread the seeds of the prairie, plant some new plants just like a bison would.
And really cool that you guys did a whole bison sculpture this year that people can now see at St. Boniface Hospital.
That's right. The Pasquale Mosto sculpture is outside at St. Boniface Hospital. Some of these seed beads have been decorating it and are going to help plant a new prairie right there in St. B.
And if people want to come down to the Living Prairie Museum on a Saturday, what should they know?
Well, you can come down anytime, any day of the week to go for a walk. But of course, our interpretive center is open on Saturdays, 11 to 4. It's totally free to visit. Our partners, the Friends of the Living Prairie Museum, are going to offer free hot beverages for people. And of course, we'll have the drop-in activities to participate in for all ages.
Awesome. Well, so Caretaker of the Prairies, the Bison drop-in program is this Saturday coming up. Marika and I will show you one other exciting activity coming up here at the Living Prairie Museum.
Looking forward to that. Thank you, Daniel. From the roots of rock to its legends, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has been honoring the biggest names in the biz for 40 years. ABC's Will Gans has more on the musical artists inducted this weekend in an evening full of special moments.
If musicians are superheroes, then the Avengers have officially assembled. Avril Lavigne, Ray, Salt and Peppa, and more teaming up to honor newly minted Hall of Famer Cyndi Lauper.
I grew up believing that rock and roll can save the world. I stand on the shoulders of all the women that came before me. My shoulders are wide enough for the younger ones to stand on.
We sit side by side. An intergenerational concert for the ages.
Yes, I can tell that we are gonna be friends.
At the 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
They're the most diverse group we've had in years. You've had from Joe Cocker to Outkast to Nicky Hopkins to Bad Company. It really shows the breadth of rock and roll.
Stevie Wonder, Jennifer Hudson, Questlove, and more paying homage to Sly and the Family Stone. And a star-studded tribute to Outkast had everyone shaking it like a Polaroid picture. With En Vogue honoring Salt and Peppa. And the tempo slowing down for Elton John in a touching tribute to Brian Wilson.
God only knows what I'd be without you. I'm feeling all right.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony, one of very few collaborative shows that proves, well...
A look now through the Bath Fitter Live Eye. Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. It's foggy, it's a little bit snowy. Things are looking wintry outside this morning, and you're going to feel the chill of it all, especially as these winds increase. As far as temperatures go, -5. We're kind of actually at -6.5. Some models round up, like this particular map that I'm showing you. -8 over in Brandon right now. Dauphin at -1. Once we're starting to move up into northern Manitoba, you're going to notice a big difference between what's happening on the west side of the province versus the east side of the province, from just below the freezing mark to minus double digits. Island Lake and Churchill considerably cooler this morning. The heavier clouds, those are being noticed across the entire province right now, with even a little bit of that scattered snow, and you notice that it's stuck this morning. Up until now, we've been seeing a few flakes, probably beginning Friday, I think, and then into Saturday, Sunday, but nothing really stuck. It was all melting on contact until this morning, and then now things are starting to look a little bit whiter. With the heavier clouds expected to last through the day, the snow will probably taper off, but the temperatures will be close to seasonal, not above normal, but after today we will be getting a bit of a warm up. So by the time kids are coming home from school, we'll be at about -1 with 0 degrees our expected high temperature for today, but those heavier clouds expected. After today, a little bit brighter, a little bit sunnier, and certainly warmer, and even warmer yet on Friday, though the sunshine disappears, with heavier clouds and double digits to finish off the work week, and then a little bit of precipitation as those temperatures drop this weekend. We're taking a break right now, but stick around. We'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Heavy snow in Chicago, one of the busiest U.S. aviation hubs, is set to compound the travel chaos across North America as government-mandated restrictions on flights enter a 4th day. Airlines felt the brunt of escalating cancellations and delays from New York to Dallas, up over the border here in Canada, as well as mounting disruptions put passengers and crews out of place. On top of that, weather-related disruptions in Chicago led to more than 10,000 delayed or canceled services on Sunday alone. In the meantime, the impasse in Washington surpassed 40 days, though the Senate took a key step forward on Sunday to reopening the government when some moderate Democrats sided with Republicans. It's still unclear, though, whether the stalemate will be lifted given significant opposition in the House of Representatives. Visa and MasterCard in the U.S. are negotiating a settlement with merchants that will reduce fees there, but could also see vendors refusing certain credit cards, according to a new report. Under the proposed settlement, Visa and MasterCard would lower credit card interchange fees, which are paid by merchants and are typically between 2 and 2.5%, to an average of around 0.1 percentage point over several years. Now, there was a similar settlement in Canada recently from a class action lawsuit, and that is only going into effect now. Those are your morning business headlines. For B&M Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
It is one of the most coveted trophies in Canadian sports. The Grey Cup has landed in Winnipeg and our studio ahead of the week-long festival leading up to Sunday's winner-takes-all game between the Montreal Alouettes and Saskatchewan Roughriders at Princess Auto Stadium. And we have got the goods here in studio thanks to Jeff McWhinney, who is the keeper of the Grey Cup. Jeff, thank you for being with us.
Good morning. It's a pleasure.
I gotta say, is this the coolest job in sports, do you think?
It is. It's a competition between me and the commissioner who's got the coolest job.
You're still thumb wrestling for that one.
Yeah, I think I win.
You think you just might. And what's really neat is you come by this quite honestly. This is in your blood, and your dad's on this trophy,
yes.
Quite literally.
Yeah, 1954, he was on the Edmonton Eskimo first Grey Cup championship team. So he's on row 4, column 7. With some great players. It really sculpted the identity of our country, of our league, and truly the country.
You must be proud. That's pretty amazing.
Very proud.
Yeah. So this, believe it or not, this trophy created in 1909, I believe. It does not look that age, obviously. Tell me a little bit about how this came to be.
You know, in 1909, we were an 18-inch trophy. And so we went from 1909 to 51, 52 to 1986. And Commissioner Doug Mitchell gave us this history book. We have 4,049 names, describing really 4,049 chapters, one of the greatest history books we have. He showed us something with 34 inches that I get to present, and every time it's the same. If I've opened it up 40,000 times, I get the same feeling. It's an honor to be the keeper of the Grey Cup.
I can imagine, and as it is so old at this point, it looks pristine, and it's been through a lot of celebratory wear and tear.
Certainly.
I can imagine what goes into keeping it in such beautiful shape.
You know, we have a team that, you know, once we get once we surrender it on the 16th, we'll see it back in 90 to 110 days. There will be an integrity check. We'll get it back into and to Grey Cup ready for the next Grey Cup year. But it's we have a good team that takes care of it.
Yeah, well, we don't know which team yet.
Yes.
We'll see. What I love, you were showing me, this is really like a piece of history.
Yes.
There are points on here showing when it wasn't awarded during wartime, correct?
Right, yeah.
Tell me about that.
So we look back into, if we look into the back of the crown, you'll see a suspension year from 1916 to 1919. 4 years that were suspended because of the World War I. A lot of those guys are in Flanders Fields that are here, so in the wake, we're running up on November 11th. We started going into the 40s, and we had a guy by the name of Jeff Nicklin, 1935 and 39 Grey Cup champion. He was a lieutenant colonel, and that chronicled our World War II. We suspended from 42 to 43 and 44 for the war years. Morale, physical fitness, because these guys had to have the ultimate locker room, because they're going in to fight for freedoms and fight for us.
I mean, it's incredible. So this week we'll be here on Remembrance Day, obviously, but then in the week-long lead up to the Grey Cup. So what have we got planned for the actual trophy as we lead up to the game?
We have gala events. We have hospital visits. We'll be tomorrow, or we're preparing for Remembrance Day to visit the Tommy Prince Trophy, or the statue at Kelowna Park. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to, like I said, hospital visits, our gala events, and of course the awards night.
So much amazing, and we're showing footage now of how it came into town, rappelled down into the Forks by members of our military. I mean, that's pretty amazing. That's an iconic entrance, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, it was. I trusted them.
Were you sweating a bit?
Yeah, I had a full head of hair, and. But yeah, you trust our military. Yeah, we trust them for all this time. And
they took good care of it, obviously. Yes. Well, we will see who will be entrusted which team next. I know you're not going to take sides on that. Yeah. We're a little hurt that our Bombers are not in the contest, but we're just honored to have it in studio with us today.
Catherine, it's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for waking up, and have a great week celebrating the Grey Cup. We're definitely going to be celebrating it.
God bless you, and God bless Canada.
Absolutely.
All right, out here this morning, heavier clouds, fog, and even some snow. So yeah, that cup, if it were outside, could be filling up with the white stuff. That is basically tapering off now. It was certainly more active earlier on this morning, but certainly we're waking up to white all around. Yes, it's starting to look like winter. It's starting to feel like winter too, mostly due to the winds. The temperatures themselves are still close to seasonal. -5 is where we're sitting right now, but it feels like -13 because of that wind out of the south at 26 clicks, which will likely only get stronger throughout the day today. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 97%. So yes, certainly the snow was more active this morning. Now I'm just seeing the odd snowflake here or there kind of wafting out on this breeze. But the heavier fog, I'm still noticing some of the tops of the buildings in the downtown area obscured by that fog, which even once that burns off will likely only make way for heavier clouds behind it. So don't expect much in the way of sunshine for today, but we will see improvements throughout the rest of this week. Brighter conditions, warmer temperatures, while today we may only make it to the freezing mark, which by the way is normal for this time of year. After today, we're looking at plus digits, a fistful of degrees above the freezing mark for the next few days with some sunshine. By the end of the week, some clouds will move in, but temperatures even higher yet. We could be hitting double digits by Friday. Talking about an iconic Canadian, the scene up in the Cross Lake area, kids are already skating out on the waters. Not recommended here in Winnipeg. It is not frozen yet. Thanks to Gordon for the photo, and keep them coming please to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca, and we'll be back right after this break.
Weather is brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Open late, ready when you are.
We will never forget your bravery, your strength, your sacrifice.
The very best and bravest of our nation, these heroic souls stood on guard for freedom.
Join the CTV News team and me as Canada comes together to remember.
Remembrance Day 2025, Tuesday morning at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on CTV.
With the holiday season ramping up, don't you want your front yard to look the best? And it all starts with pots. These get growing. Carla, what do we do with our pots?
Well, not all the pots have to go away into the shed for the winter. So why not be expressive?
the holiday season is a perfect time that we can be still enjoying a container, at least a welcoming container at the front entrance. So we're showing you how to do porch pots. It's probably one of the trendier things that people like to do. So if you have existing soil, or if you have an area that you've already had some stuff, loosen it up, get it ready to go. Now, it's your choice whether you're wanting to do, there's a lot of people that like to do the birch pole effect that's in there. It just gives it a little bit of a vertical lift that's in it. I'm going to get you working there. Okay. So if you can see, if you can put that, put them in. And
in the center?
Yeah, you know what? It depends. It's just like gardening. Is it going to go against the wall, or is it going to be out? Because if it's against the garage or the wall, maybe have everything flowing forward. So you, the designer,
so much
has to figure it out. Yeah.
I'm going to go central just so nothing topples over.
Okay, go for it.
I'm no mathematician, but I feel like this is the best.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's sticking up.
It's sticking up. You want to make sure that it's well to the bottom, because the soil is loose right now. It's got a little bit of moisture in it. But just remember, after this is done, we're going to add a little bit of moisture, and as it freezes, everything is going to lock in.
I'm done.
No, you're not done. So the next thing is we have twigging. Okay. I showed you this before. Now, with the red dogwood stemming, it gives you that little bit of color during the season. So if you wanted to, you could do, again, a base of it all the way around, or if you wanted to, do a cluster right at the back. And it gives you that sort of element. No, you have to go in a little bit further. Okay. All right, just remember, you want to anchor it in, give it directional. Now,
I like that.
Isn't that cute? Okay, you're doing A+.
Looks like the bottom of a rake.
We'll make it look
pretty, I promise.
Okay, do you smell what I smell?
I do, and I was going to mention that.
Yeah. There are white pine, silver fir, and the silver fir is very indicative because it's darker on one side and more silver on the other, and cedar. So these are the green blended mixes, and they're so supple right now. So what you can do is design it and how you want to put it into your pot.
I love that.
So I'm going to let you keep pushing things in. So you're going to push things. I'm going to help you with one.
Yes.
And I'm going to, as you're doing that and putting some of this in, I'm going to show people what else you can add to it. So we at St. Mary's have a ton of stuff. So what you're looking at is you're looking at magnolias. You're looking at different types of berries. So you may be adding berries into it as well as you're progressing. And the one thing that you're really accenting, and yes, the magnolia indoors or outdoors, choose the berries that you're wanting to put in. And even if you wanted to go a little bit of country, or maybe, I'm just quickly, because I know we're on a time frame, some pine cones. And if it's a little bit of whimsy, I may want to accent it with a little bit of a sleigh accent on the side. Yeah. Or if you have a larger container, I think these lanterns would look beautiful nestled in, and then do an outdoor candle. So there's so much you can do.
Well, if I can do it, the kids and the grandkids definitely can do it. This has been Get Growing.
Get Growing is brought to you by St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. Get a lush yard and garden thanks to expert advice from gardening professionals. Your Morning Winnipeg. Coffee is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
All right, -5 is what we're waking up to this morning. It's starting to warm up. We were at -6 last hour, so seeing some improvements with the temperatures, the conditions, still a little bit of light snow, but even that is starting to taper off. The winds are increasing, though, out of the south, now 26 clicks. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 97%. And those winds are still likely to continue to increase throughout the day today, with the heavier clouds sticking around and even starting to close in further to the east. I know it's looking like it's nowhere near as cloudy, but that will change as those clouds start to move across that eastern border as well. And then there's the little bit of light snow that we've been seeing, and nearly everybody has the possibility of seeing a few more of those flakes today. Eventually it'll taper off, but I mentioned the winds increasing up to 60 kilometers per hour today out of the south as we climb to about the freezing mark, which is normal for this time of year for a daytime high. A seasonal low temperature would be about -8. -6 is as cool as it got last night. This coming night, -1. So that warm up will continue, and we'll notice it throughout this week as we're back up above the freezing mark for tomorrow and the rest of the week, in fact, with brighter conditions as well. A little more sunshine is expected and climbing to a high of about 6 degrees, but tomorrow those winds out of the north will still be pretty noticeable as they gust to about 50 clicks. Staying above the freezing mark right through the rest of the week, with sunshine lasting till about Thursday, and then still with the mercury on the rise. We could hit double digits on Friday, but some heavier clouds will move in right ahead of precipitation on Saturday, and from there you will notice those temperatures starting to fall throughout the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Some breaking news. The Public Health Agency says Canada has officially lost its measles elimination status. It's held that status since 1998. The Winnipeg Police Service is seeking the public's help to identify a suspect related to an assault in June on Main Street. Police say an 18-year-old man was assaulted in a parking lot near the 400 block of Main Street at around 2:30 in the morning on June 28th. The parking lot was near a nightclub that was closing for the night. Investigators found these images on surveillance video and need help identifying the individual shown. Anyone who knows the identity or whereabouts of this person is asked to call the Major Crimes Unit at 204-986-6219 or contact Crime Stoppers at 204-786-TIPS. Southern Ontario got its first taste of wintry weather, leaving some people scrambling to get their winter tires put on and others just enjoying the moment.
I'm wearing about 3 layers, top and bottom, so I just feel pretty invincible. So just stay out here as long as I can.
It's time. It's time. We need some snow. It's Canada. We need snow.
Some areas saw upwards of 10 centimeters of snow. Aurelia, about 2 hours north of Toronto, saw the largest amount. Drivers were warned of slippery conditions, and in the Greater Toronto area, more than 100 collisions were reported yesterday. Many cities also opened warming centers and shelters as the temperature dropped. And snow and ice are also wreaking havoc across Montreal. In the Laurentians, some communities were expecting 10 to 20 centimeters of snow, and it's not over just yet. There are some weather warnings and watches still in effect. The U.S. Senate has passed a deal aimed at ending the longest government shutdown in its history.
On this vote, the yeas are 60 and the nays are 40. 3/5 of the Senate duly chosen and sworn, having voted in the affirmative. The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
8 Democrats are breaking with their party to vote in favor of an agreement. The deal doesn't include a key demand from Democrats, which is extending Affordable Care Act subsidies that are due to expire this year. Instead, Republicans are only promising a future vote on health care sometime next month. The deal will need to clear several more hurdles before federal workers can get paid and services return. New research suggests people with irregular heartbeats may not need to stay on blood thinners after they've gotten a corrective procedure done. The findings relate to people with atrial fibrillation. It's a common form of irregular heartbeat, and patients are often prescribed blood thinners to prevent dangerous clots. Scientists looked at data on more than 1,200 patients who had a procedure called ablation, which tries to fix electrical signals in the heart. Despite existing guidelines that patients stay on blood thinners even after the procedure, researchers found there was no significant difference in health outcomes between patients who then stayed on blood thinners and those who switched to aspirin. California dreaming turned out to be a bit of a nightmare for the Winnipeg Jets as they wrapped up a 3-game stint in the Golden State Sunday in Anaheim. The Jets had already dropped 2 in a row, losing to the Kings and Sharks when they hit the ice yesterday against the Ducks. The only bright spot for the Jets in this game, Mark Scheifele and Josh Morrissey set up Kyle Connor, who scores this goal with just over 15:30 left in the second, cutting the Ducks' lead in half. That's Connor's 9th of the season. That was the end of scoring for Winnipeg. However, as Anaheim cruised to a 4-1 victory. Remembrance Day is tomorrow, and a Nova Scotia author has released a new book celebrating the wartime bravery of people from his province. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more on the effort to make sure their accomplishments are never forgotten.
A new book highlights the bravery of Nova Scotians who served on overseas battlefields more than 100 years ago. Military historian Ken Hines says their contributions have been largely overlooked, and he wants to make sure they are remembered.
There's a story about an Indigenous soldier and a black soldier, a nursing sister, and several other people in there who come from all backgrounds, cultures, walks of life, and what they were willing to give up to serve their country and take care of one another on the battlefield is quite astounding.
The book also examines the impact the war had on their lives and families.
30,000 Nova Scotians volunteered for service during the Great War, and 3,000 never came home.
Hines also writes about the commitment and bravery of nurses, women who served on the front lines facing death and danger while caring for others.
One of the women I write about, nursing sister Minnie Follett, she and 13 other nursing sisters lost their lives after having dealt with scores and scores of injured soldiers in battlefield hospitals.
Hines says the book Service and Sacrifice is intended to celebrate a group of people from Nova Scotia who felt they had to do something to serve their country in the First World War. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
Taking a look at the current traffic situation around the St. James Bridge. Moving along at a good pace. Traffic volume's not terribly heavy. Meanwhile, if you're having any issues out there, want to share some updates from the roads, text them when it's safe and legal at 10400. Taking a look at your gas prices, the Canadian average stands at $1.35. The provincial average slightly lower at $1.31, and that is the average in Winnipeg as well. And the lowest price in the city is $1.14. All this information is on GasBuddy.com.
The Price at the Pump is brought to you by the Kidney Foundation. Help by donating your card today.
Checking in one last time with CTV's Daniel Halmerson, who seems to have had a very delightful morning at the Living Prairie Museum.
I can't complain, Catherine. Nice cup of coffee and looking out at the beautiful ecosystem here. It's one of the last remaining tall grass prairies in central North America, and we've been learning about some of the happenings here at the museum. Now, any day of the week you can come and take a self-guided tour outside, but the interpretive center comes alive on weekends. I'm joined once again by curator Marika Olenek. Thank you so much for having us this morning.
Yeah, thanks for coming, and we're going to talk a bit about some of the activities you can do when you come here.
Now, you're holding a beaver pelt there. Tell us what's coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, so not this weekend, it'll be bison, but the week after we're going to have activities all about beavers. So you'll get a chance to come and see some of the different artifacts we have all about beavers and do some dam building. Beavers are our ecosystem engineers, so you can test your skills against a beavers to see how good you are at building a dam.
So we have a little activity set up here. So what are we looking at?
Yeah, so I've got kind of the beginnings of a dam, and you can see we've got mud and sticks and rocks just like a beaver would use. And here we've got a completed one. So what we can do when you come in, you can build your own dam and then you get to test it. So what we'll do right now is test that water.
Cameraman Kenny and I have a $5 bet. I said it will hold. He wasn't too sure. Oh, no.
I've got some patchwork to do, I think. I got to be like a beaver and try to find the holes in my dam.
Now, tell me, beavers, are any of them here at Living Prairie Museum or nearby?
Yeah, for sure. We have beavers that live nearby, like Sturgeon Creek and, of course, the Assiniboine River. Prairies and wetlands go hand in hand, so although we don't have wetlands right on our site, they're pretty nearby. And beavers are, of course, important to making all kinds of new habitat for things.
For someone who's never been to the Living Prairie Museum, what do they need to know before they come down?
They need to know that it's free to visit. We are open outside any day of the week. It's actually a park. You can come for a self-guided visit. And then on Saturdays, you can come from 11 till 4. You can come inside, check out the interpretive center. We've got free hot drinks, courtesy of our partners, the Friends of the Living Prairie Museum. And of course, you'll get to do some hands-on activities when you get here.
Awesome. You can find out more about the Living Prairie Museum on our website as well as through the City of Winnipeg. Thank you so much for having us here this morning, Marika.
Thanks for coming. It's been really great to talk to you.
We head on up to the rooftop with Terry Gale. Terry, we've got a lot going on in the city this week. The Grey Cup Festival all week, and then the Santa Claus Parade and the Grey Cup itself. Is Mother Nature playing ball here with us?
Do you know what? If only that was all happening in advance of the weekend. By the time the weekend rolls around, things will start to cool down, but there's also the possibility of some showers by Sunday and then, or Saturday, and then some cooler temperatures by Sunday. But let me get through the next few days, because you will see some improvements over this morning. Certainly, we're dealing with the fog. We've seen some light snow, and we're sitting right now at 5 degrees. There's stronger winds out of the south that are 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, and the humidity is sitting at 97%. So today's isn't going to be a sunny day by any means. Behind this fog, once that burns off, heavier clouds are likely to linger. The snow has been easing over the course of the morning, but slightly cooler temperatures means that it's stuck around and we're waking up to some of the white stuff, although we could see this disappearing throughout the rest of this week, and that's because these temperatures will be on the rise. We'll see increasing amounts of sunshine. Tomorrow, back to clearer conditions and sunshine then for the next few days with mid-single digits on tap. Today we'll only get to the freezing mark, but that's normal for this time of year. And then above seasonal temperatures through the rest of the week. Could even hit double digits by Friday. And then for the weekend itself, yes, things will start to turn again with that possibility of showers Saturday and dropping back below the freezing mark on Sunday. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
A 103-year-old veteran who will be attending the National Remembrance Day ceremony is sharing his story of service. Elmer Friesen was far from the battlefield, but as CTV's Kathy Lee explains, he played a crucial role in Canada's war effort, boosting morale at home.
It would have been 20, 21.
Clad in his Royal Canadian Air Force uniform is a young man ready to answer the call of the Second World War.
I thought, oh boy, I'm going overseas. I really wanted to go.
But instead, the new recruit was assigned as a leading aircraft man, stationed in Scotia, New Brunswick, doing small repairs and sometimes big projects.
We got a Hawker Hurricane, a single-seater fighter plane, and we got it as in kits. And we put it all together, and I did the electrical work on it.
The sparks and circuits kept Elmer Friesen busy for a year and a half, until his service took a musical turn.
I was always singing. Wherever I went, I was always singing.
When he was recruited into an entertainment group.
We did variety shows, two of them, and we also did Gilbert and Sullivan Opera. We performed in Moncton and Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island.
Friesen wasn't overseas, but his role at home was just as crucial, lifting spirits of civilians as wartime tension grew.
It was really good to see the reception that we got when we did entertain them. I know that it took some relief out of their concerns.
He would go on to perform for another year or so, and while the curtain has long since fallen, the melodies never really left.
Take me out to the ball game.
At 103, his voice may be softer, but the echo of his service remains. Proof that duty isn't always measured in combat, but sometimes it's measured in music. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, some people are working for the weekend. I'm working for my next vacation. Nothing makes me happier than having one already scheduled in the books. We're joined this morning by travel expert Jen Weatherhead-Harrington. Jen, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Always excited to chat with you because I get to learn some of the hot new places that we should be checking out. But before we get into that, let's talk about just some travel inspiration.
Yeah, so we're going to get some inspiration from Air Canada Vacations. So they recently held a survey/contest in celebration of their 50th anniversary, and they put it out to Canadians for a chance to win a $5,000 Air Canada Vacations gift card. But they did a little survey, 10 different categories, asking us which travel destinations we would prefer. And I have to say, Canadians have some really great taste when it comes to picking destinations. So our top beach destination was Grace Bay and Turks and Caicos. When it comes to food, we picked Naples in Italy, of course, not too bad. And then when it comes to a bucket list destination, we picked Santorini, Greece. So again, there are 10 different categories here. You can go onto aircanadavacations.com to find out all of those winners from their contest, and then that can give you a little bit of inspiration when it comes to planning your trip over the next year or so.
I love that. Let's talk a little bit about the next year, 2026. What are some of the trends that we're seeing when it comes to travel?
I love this time of year when we get to kind of pick out these new trends, and some of them are really, really fun. So I'm highlighting some of the ones that came out of Skyscanner's recent travel trends report. So Skyscanner is a global travel app. I use it all the time because it's really, really helpful for booking amazing deals on flights and hotels. But they do this travel trends report based off of all of their users and their searches and surveys that they conduct with them. So it's definitely a real-time survey. And some of the cool trends that they came up with are things like glow-mad. So instead of a nomad, you're a glow-mad. You're looking to travel for things that will help enhance your beauty and your wellness. They took the foodie trend to a different kind of direction, and it's called shelf discovery. So it's going to places like Japan and going to vending machines and convenience stores to try out some different foods. I did that earlier this year. And then they have something called Alpine adventures, where people are really looking to connect to mountains. So many cool trends here. Again, go to skyscanner.ca or download the app and you can be inspired that way.
Love that. All right, now I'm going to tell you, we've just started to see the first few flakes of snow. We know the colder weather is coming. For people that are maybe looking for a hot beach destination to escape it all, what's your recommendation?
I'm going to say let's go to the Philippines. So this is probably a little lesser known. A lot of people will be going to Thailand or places like that, but the Philippines is an incredible destination. We do have new direct flights with Air Canada out of Vancouver, so it's making it a lot easier to get there. I love being able to explore these islands. I went earlier this year. My mind was blown at how hospitable it was, how friendly, and the incredible beaches and islands that they have. Also, the food is so delicious here. They have something on their dessert menu called Halo Halo. It's this beautiful mix of jellies and condensed milk and syrup, definitely for a sweet tooth, but worth it on a beach when it's really hot.
All right, well, here in Winnipeg, we know some Filipino food, we know some friendliest people, and so whether you're looking for a flight home or you want to go and see what some of those islands are like, or just take in some of that culture, see some of those restaurants firsthand. Philippines, I love that as is on your list. All right, Jen, thanks so much for all of these tips today. We appreciate having you here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, and yes, those flakes are still coming down, but they are tapering off now. Just a few here and there, but they are sticking on the ground. Certainly seeing those colder temperatures, at least to kick off the week. It's -5 right now with south winds 26 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 97%. And I say some cooler temperatures, but actually we're pretty much normal for this time of year. The heavier clouds, the little bit of light snow, the snow will taper off, the clouds will stick around. There's even a little bit of fog that's still burning off for now, but then things get a whole lot warmer throughout the rest of the week, and a whole lot brighter as early as tomorrow. We'll start to see those clouds clearing out actually overnight, and then a little more sunshine through the rest of this week, or most of the week, I should say. Friday is looking a little bit cloudier, but also a little bit warmer. So 0 degrees is normal, mid-single digits, and then double digits. But then from there, for the weekend, we start to slump back down with some possible showers Saturday and below the freezing mark by Sunday. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with Your Morning Winnipeg.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by Essentique Spa Salon.
Okay, let's wrap up the show with some fun videos. We're going to start things off with an 80s hair trend that many hope never comes back.
Curlers. Everybody I knew slept in the fancy hair. So we're going to make our own fancy hair.
These little sponge curlers were all the rage, giving girls curly hair for days. If you couldn't afford a perm, all you needed were these little guys for the big hair, don't care look.
You remember them, right?
Well, and I still use hot rollers sometimes, Terry. I'm not giving those up.
Those spongy ones were actually way more comfortable to sleep in.
Yeah, and they don't pull your hair out. We're a fan.
Although they were a little sporadic. It was a Shirley Temple look.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, and there's rock operas, operatic pop, but what about a hip-hop collab? This is known as hip opera. Babatunde is called the hip hop opera guy for a reason, for fusing both forms of music in a fun and fabulous way to reach audiences across musical genres. That's a voice of an angel. A YouTuber in Edmonton, meanwhile, is building a giant city, one brick at a time.
This is my Lego room.
Wow, Jordan Forsyth, better known as Brixie, has created Brickmanton. It spans 75 square meters with a massive model. Wow.
Wow.
To leave on that. Okay, that's going to do it for us. See you tomorrow.